See if there's a way I can keep this from making noise all the time. Oh, that's better. Okay. That works. Happy Friday. Tilting Windmill. Hey. Wodenson. Hey. How's it going? Okay. So YouTube is on. Let's get TikTok going. Okay. That. We got that. There we go. Hi, Elizabeth B. Happy Friday. Pseudo V Science. You might be right. Ethereal Ember, happy Friday to you. Durango, how you doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's not have a faction war, please. No faction war. I don't want a horizontal versus vertical. Schism. No schisms. All right. I forbid schisms. Hi, Ace. Welcome. All right. We have somebody in the live already, but I got to get my water bottle. So I will be right back. I just got to run and get my water bottle. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just had to get my water bottle, and I now have my water bottle, so I am good to go there. Hope everyone's having an excellent Friday. So today, we're going to do a better job. I am, at least. I'm going to do a better job of staying linear. So I'm going to really be a stickler for guests answering the question. That's above my head. Slideshow happy hour. So we're going to be talking about your best evidence that God is just. Yes, you can request to join the live. Absolutely. So if you want to request up, tap the little blue and pink people on the bottom of your screen on TikTok, or if you're on YouTube, use the link right above my head at tinyurl.com. So those are 2 ways you can join. And if you are on TikTok and if you want to use the link, you can do that too. Or if you're on YouTube and you want to hop on over to TikTok, you can do that too. But you have 2 ways to join. Same with people on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, those are the 2 ways you can join. So that's how we'll do it. All right. So back to today's goals. Stay linear. That's the big one. And be calm. So that's what we're going to do. All right. And I went through and I unblocked a whole bunch of people. So you're probably going to see some people. But if you were blocked before and you're now unblocked, yeah, if you're going to spam, then you're going to be blocked. So if you're going to type in caps, the mods will block you. And so on and so forth. So, all right. Let's go pick up our first guest. How's it going?
Hello.
Hi.
Good.
How old
Hi.
are you?
43.
Okay. And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
God of the Bible.
All right. What's your best evidence that this God is just?
What evidence do you want from me? What argument? I give you.
Empirical,
But what argument?
logical argument, scientific evidence, whatever you got.
And why do you want any evidence if you don't believe in God?
Just the same way that we can determine if Lex Luthor from Superman is evil or just or unjust. We don't have to believe in Lex Luthor from Superman, do we?
Superman. We can imagine Superman.
We can imagine Superman. Yeah. And what about Lex Luthor, Superman's arch nemesis, Lex Luthor?
Also, we can imagine Luthor.
Is Lex Luthor good or bad? Is he just or unjust?
You can imagine Superman because you see sometimes a sweet
All
and
right.
a man and combine this imaging.
Is Superman just?
But no one see ever
Is
God.
Superman just?
Never see. What?
Is Superman just?
Yes, I think he's just.
Okay, so just like you can imagine Superman being just, we can determine whether or not God is just. So I don't have to believe in God to talk about whether or not he's just, right? So
yes.
All right. So what's your evidence that God is just?
What evidence do you want?
Well, I just told you. What did I tell you?
So you want evidence that God exists and it.
I didn't say God exists. I asked if he's just.
But you don't believe. But you don't believe in God.
Okay. Do you believe in? So that means you believe in Superman.
Why? But why do you want? Do you believe in Superman?
All right. I'm asking you. You believe in Superman? Yes or no?
No.
No, you don't. But you just said a minute ago you think he's just. You just said that a minute ago. Okay, so you just okay. So you don't believe in Superman. You believe Superman is just. What is your evidence that Superman is just?
The concept.
Perfect. So that means we can talk about whether or not his God is just. I don't have to believe in God to discuss whether or not he's just. So can you give me your evidence that God is just?
Why do you want an evidence if you don't believe in God?
Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you. All right. So, if we can ascertain whether Superman is just, if we can ascertain whether Lex Luthor is just or unjust, we can ascertain whether or not God is just or unjust. Don't have to believe in God to ascertain whether God is just. All right? And Proud 86, how does looking around evidence that God is just? That doesn't answer the question. So let's engage with the question. So if you're in the guest queue, please be at least 18, a believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. And also, please be ready to answer the question above my head. What is your best evidence that God is just? All right. So I'm going to stay super linear today. So we're going to stay on that, and we're going to, so I'm not going to let things stray. All right. And as you see, the previous guest had a pretty short hook. All right. So let's just not waste time. All right. Let's move on to the next guest. How's it going?
Hello. Good. How about you? Let me just turn off my hair.
All right. I'm doing well, thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I think my point of view is more like logical than scientific and proof.
All right. First of all, let's just make sure we line up with TikTok terms of service. You're at least 18? Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And which God are we talking about here? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I'll start with this first, and then I'll address the three religions you mentioned. But my God is mostly like me trying to find direct experience of God. Like right now, you're directly hearing my voice. But I think that the Christian and the other two, their interpretations of God, just that they're not very. It's not the best way to go about finding God. I would believe that direct, like you need to change like your diet, your exercise. You need to read books or psychology and like meditate, and that's how most people get direct experiences.
Okay.
And also like near-death experiences and psychedelics and mystics are kind of pointing towards that.
Okay. I only want to talk to people who believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. But hey, appreciate you coming up.
All right.
Have a good Friday. Sounded pretty nice, but we're going to restrict it today. All right. On to the next guest. So, again, if you are thinking of joining the queue or in the queue, please be at least 18, a believer of the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, and please have evidence that God is just. All right? So we got one in the YouTube queue, so let's bring them in. All right, can you hear me? Roz. We can't hear you. So let's see what's going on here. See what kind of audio settings we have. Okay, there we go. Roz, how you doing?
Hello.
Hi, Roz. How's it going?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, cool. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right. We have to follow TikTok terms of service. So are you at least 18?
Yes.
Okay. And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. All right. What's your best evidence that God is just?
Is just or
just?
Exist?
Just.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I just joined. I didn't read that. It's just. Okay, real quick. Impossibility of the contrary.
Impossibility of the contrary?
Yeah, it might be like a kind of a. This is going to be like maybe an objection you haven't heard before. Or I'm not going to like spew out a bunch of like just things to show he's just. I'm just going to say your worldview can't account for anything being just.
Okay, so
if you're an atheist.
Hold on a second. Your evidence is your evidence that God is just is that my worldview can't account for anything. That's your evidence.
Yeah, I would just hit it like it's basically going to be theist or atheist.
Okay, how is the lack of my worldview accounting for anything evidence that God is just? How does that?
Because if I say A or B, not B, then A.
Okay.
So I'm saying not B. Like I'm saying atheism, not.
Okay.
Just to make it really basic.
Okay. So you're saying because atheism is invalid to you, God is just. That's essentially what you're saying.
Yes, because the idea of just comes from like a theist worldview. like an atheist, I don't want to be like insulting here, but basically you guys just think of yourselves as particles in motion. That's like what you reduce down to in the end. Justice or just cannot come from that.
Okay.
It's an idea made up by theists. So when you're saying just, I'm going to ask you to explain it and how you
it's the dictionary definition. It's the dictionary definition of just, and that's how I ground it.
Yeah, but that would be subjective.
And?
Well, then if it's subjective, it's just your preference, so then it doesn't prove it.
Okay, so what is your objective definition of just?
Whatever the laws Jesus passed down in the Bible.
Whatever the laws Jesus passed down in the Bible?
Yeah, like the Ten Commandments, all that.
Okay.
Whatever. Actually, I would say that Jesus is justice, love, and all those things, including logic and morality.
Okay. Is
like
Jesus
they come
God?
from him. And, yes.
Jesus
well,
is God.
I believe in the Trinity.
Okay, but is Jesus God?
So he's yes.
Jesus is God. Okay, so we can just say you can just say you think God is just because of whatever the laws of whatever is in the Bible, right?
Well, no, my argument was the impossibility of the contrary.
Yeah, you said that, but you said
and then you asked about this, but
yeah,
I'm pointing you back to my argument because I don't want to move off of that.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to let you move me off it.
Well, we're not gonna move off of it. We're gonna stick to the just thing. So
okay.
So what I'm trying to understand is your definition. You said your definition of just is whatever is in the Bible. Yes.
Well,
no?
I clarified it and said whatever God is.
It's whatever
like it
God
comes
is.
from Him.
Okay. And how do you know
in the Christian worldview, we don't. So like I'm an Orthodox Christian.
Okay.
There's a lot of God mysteries that we do not understand. We don't purport to like understand everything God thinks. That would be impossible.
Is everything in the Bible a mystery, or is it true?
Well, as Orthodox Christians, we don't think the Bible is like infallible.
You don't think it's infallible?
No, we defer to.
How do you determine whether or not it's fallible? Like what's
well, we don't know if it's infallible or not.
How do you
like you know how
you determine what's
you know
right
how
and what's
like
wrong?
Well, the church tradition, like being in the church.
Church tradition.
You know, like the Bible was not around for centuries.
Okay.
Well,
so
Christians were Christians,
tradition.
right?
Okay.
So where did Christians get their like morals if the Bible didn't exist? That's why like the whole Protestant thing of like sola scriptura is completely fake.
Okay. So you
asked me a couple of questions, and I want to ask these questions. So
okay,
I think that would be fair.
That would be fair, but I have
so when
I need more clarification. So you're saying I'm still not clear on how you determine whether or not the stories in the Bible or events in the Bible are true or not. How do you determine that?
Through the Holy Spirit, I would say, within each person and through the church.
Okay,
like
so
the church, we look to our church tradition. No, we defer like anything like that to the church.
Okay.
And you can say that's wrong and everything, but
I'm trying to.
Wrong doesn't really mean anything to an atheist.
I gotcha. Okay, so is there suffering in the world?
Yes.
Okay, and is all of it necessary?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, so you can't. Then you don't know whether
I think I would have
necessary or unnecessary.
Well, no, because I would need universal knowledge to know if all suffering is necessary.
Okay.
And I'm not limited being, so no.
Okay. So.
And I would say it's impossible to know that.
Okay. Would you watch an animal suffer?
Would I watch it suffer?
Yeah.
I guess there's some circumstances in which I would have to, but like if I was
circumstances. Like let's say
like are you trying to catch me in the trap where you said like, you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch you in a trap. But you have no idea where I'm going. I'm gonna catch you in a trap.
No, but you're moving me off of my original point though, because you won't say you won't give a grounding to just.
You're trying to move off the original topic. You're trying to move off of what is just. and I'm trying
I called in and asked you
determine an internal critique on that. So that's
can you remind me of what I opened with when I said I'm not going to give a justification for God? I'm just going to prove how you cannot have justice in a worldview such as your
well,
own.
in that case, well, then we have nothing more to discuss. I thank you for coming up. All right. So he didn't want to address the topic. So, so that's how we handle that. So again, I said we're going to be very linear. We're going to be very linear today. So if you don't want to address the topic, don't request up. Let's not do that. Oh, I could have cooked him, but we're not going to get into this silly little conversation. So we're not going to do that. The question up on the board is, what's your best evidence that God is just? So he said, I didn't really hear him say when he said he wasn't going to address that. But he tried to shift things. So that's not going to work today. All right, let's go to the next guest. So if you're in the guest queue, please be at least 18, a believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, and please be ready to answer the question, what's your best evidence God is just? So how you doing, Johnny?
Hey, it's good. I love listening to you. I've watched you for a couple of days. I think you're doing a great job, man.
Thank you. And sounds like you're over 18. So are you a believer in the God of the Bible?
Sorry.
Okay.
Definitely
no worries.
over 18.
Yeah. No worries. Are you a believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I am a Christian. I'm actually a minister, but I mean, it's not like I'm a minister in the sense that I have this major church or anything like that. I've just gone through seminary, studied the Bible. I actually am a director of a facility that helps guys getting out of prison, and we're a Christ-based facility.
Oh, fantastic. All right. What's your best evidence then that God is just?
Well, God allows, temporary injustice, obviously. I mean, we see that obviously in the world today. Final justice is going to come. If you look at books like Job, which I'm sure you're probably familiar with, it wrestles a lot with this type of tension. So I understand where you're coming from on that. We're dealing what we're looking at, and, look at the flood, for instance. You go over to Genesis, right? I think it's chapter 6 through 9. Obviously, there's judgment that's going on there after, all this violence that's going on. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
I mean, judgment after some really serious injustice. I mean, the narrative is constantly portraying judgment. Yeah. The narrative is constantly portraying judgment as morally grounded. It's not arbitrary. So sin is not ignored, obviously. Justice is obviously applied. Mercy is offered. Love is expressed.
Yeah.
The penalty is not dismissed. It's absorbed. And so when you really look at just, or how God is just, I mean, you have to consider all of these factors, which I'm sure you sound like a very smart person. So I'm sure you've probably taken a look at some of this stuff.
Okay. Well, here, let me jump in because I didn't quite hear an answer to my question. So I'm trying to understand how any of this is evidence that God is just.
Okay. What was your question? And let me re-answer it.
What's your best evidence that God is just?
I thought I just shared some evidence with you.
Well, yeah, you just said that all these occurrences happen. Okay, so you're saying
I'm trying to give you actual
God delivered justice, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to give you actual evidence based on Scripture. You're talking about, am I a Christian? Yeah, that's what I believe, and you're asking me what I believe based on what I believe.
Perfect. So, does that now because you brought up a couple examples. You brought up the flood. You brought up Sodom and Gomorrah. Destroyed 2 cities, right? Just wiped out 2 cities, wiped out the entire, all except 8 people on the face of the earth. And there's a lot of genocide that goes on, right? So there's the Amalekites, things like that. And so does that include, so are you saying then that it's just to slaughter babies?
What I would say is that God is the creator, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're looking at a big picture. So you're asking me a question But you and I are not able to see the big picture. A lot of times things happen, like I read this Chinese proverb the other day that made total sense to me about how this farmer had this farm and his son broke his leg and was not able to farm the farm. His dad was too old to do it. And then all of a sudden these warriors came in to recruit all of these people, to these young people to join the war. And then the whole warrior tribe got wiped out in the war, but his son wasn't recruited because he had a broken leg. God has a plan for everything. There's a cause and effect. There's a reason for everything.
Cause and an effect. Okay. So is that kind of a roundabout way to say I don't know?
No, actually, a cause and effect is a beautiful thing that would lead me into asking you, do you believe in uncaused first cause?
Uncaused first cause? No.
Well, how do we
hold on. Uncaused first cause.
Yeah, look it up. Uncaused first cause.
Yeah, uncaused cause. Yeah, we do have some uncaused causes in science. We do have some of those.
Uncaused first cause.
Yeah, under quantum mechanics, there are some uncaused causes. So yeah. We have
I said uncaused first cause.
Uncaused first cause.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an uncaused. In other words, for a cause and effect to happen, there has to be an uncaused first cause for effect to happen. If you track it all the way back.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't agree with that. We have evidence that the universe has always existed.
I mean, give me an evidence.
Yeah, quantum mechanics. So under quantum mechanics, and we're totally shifting here. But I'll answer your question real quick. But we're not.
I think we're actually making progress.
Well, no, not really. We're way off the topic of whether or not God is just.
I think it all leads into that. I mean, it's a good conversation, and you've actually opened a door up for that, and I think that's a good conversation.
Okay. So we're gonna. So I'm gonna pivot back to whether or not God is just. So I'm just going to answer your question real quick. Under quantum mechanics, we have evidence that time, space, energy, and gravity have always existed. So those are the basic building blocks of the universe manifold. So like time and space are interwoven. The space time. They're dimensions and they're interwoven. So. That means that if time is eternal, space is always. Well, I just said quantum mechanics. So
no, but you never gave me an evidence. You just said quantum mechanics. I mean, you never gave.
Well, I'm about to explain it. So under quantum mechanics, under the Schrodinger equation, you can calculate the superposition, which is all the possible positions of a particle at any point in time, past, present, or future, which also means you can calculate it. The probability of a superposition of a particle at any point in space. So that means space and time must have always existed. And they've actually affirmed this with things like the quantum eternity theorem. Well, we're shifting. So we're going to go back to God as being just.
No, we're not actually. I mean, you're talking about quantum mechanics. We're talking about the living cell.
That has nothing to do with quantum mechanics. So we got to go back to God as just. Yeah. We have to go back to quantum mechanics, I'm sorry, not quantum mechanics. God is just, and that has nothing to do with quantum mechanics. So, God being just,
you don't want to go further into the discussion because you can't explain it, and I get it.
Oh no, I can totally explain it. Like I said, it's
you're
we're
stuck on what you believe, man, and you don't want to go into intellectual conversation.
Wow, we're getting another crash out. So we have a dishonest. Oh wow, we have a dishonest Christian here, and all right. So you're a minister, right? You're a minister, right? What does Colossians 3:12 say, minister?
I'd have to look it up.
You'd have to look it up. You want me to look it up for you?
Yeah, look it up for me.
All right, because we're going to determine whether or not your behavior is in line with Colossians 3:12.
Oh my gosh, man! I love your psychology. It's so funny.
And if it's not, then
I'll see you later, bro. You've just disproved yourself.
Yeah. So run away. Run get your track shoes on, minister.
The minister running away. So, I get it. Hey, I am a minister. I really shouldn't be acting like this, but I'm not going to be caught dead admitting it. So I better get out of here.
I better get the fuck out of here before I get called out. Yeah, because I'm about to get put in line. Yep. Mm-hmm. So seriously, Daddy he's probably a self-professed minister. Yeah.
Mr. Minister. God is just what? That's the big question.
God is just what? Exactly. God is just what? Oh, we have somebody named Justice that's in the YouTube guest queue. So let's see what they have to say. How you doing, by the way?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm great. Yeah, I'm great. I've been a little bit more consistent going live on my main. You know, my audience is ticking up a little bit. We're looking good. It's having a lot of fun. Yeah, having a great time. I'm really excited to start this project with you.
Me too.
But I might. There's a chance I'll get promoted at my job. So I don't know. Like that'll affect my schedule. Like that'll affect if I get promoted, then my wife will quit her job, and I mean I'll have to figure out my situation. So it's a good thing we haven't started this yet, so we can figure out what's going to happen with that.
Yeah. There's no big rush. Yeah, no big rush. Because I got no big rush. I'm not in a big hurry, so it'll happen when it happens. But it's good that you're making the rounds, and I got to start making the rounds on that account too, just so that people see it. So I hear you, man. But that's great to hear. Congrats on the. I hope you get the promotion.
She is here.
She is here. Yeah.
It's pumped to hear.
She's here. She's there. She's everywhere.
It's great to hear.
It is. It is great to hear. You're right. Absolutely. All right. Let's bring up. Let's bring up Justice from the. Let's bring up Justice from the YouTube queue. All right. How's it going, Justice?
Hey. Why did you run away from the last two debates?
Oh,
as soon as you started losing that.
We're starting off that way. All right, Justice. So are you at least 18, and which God do you believe in?
Christian God.
Christian God. All right. What's your best evidence that God is just?
I told you the impossibility of the contrary. And you didn't like that, so you had to run away.
Okay.
You had to run.
See you later. Because you don't want to talk about God as just. So,
possibility of the contrary of him being so, like, it's impossible for God to not be just.
See, here's the deal, Justice. You have to be an honest Christian and deal with the question. You said you don't have evidence that God is just. So, the conversation's done. There's nothing more to discuss with you today. Come back another day when we're talking about something else, and then I'll work you over. Then I'll cook you. All right. Yeah, because honestly, the morality thing is a great thing for me. I love talking about morality and God. I love it. Love it. Everybody on this chat knows that too. I got so much shit for you. So just come back another day. We're not talking about that. Yeah. If you don't have evidence that God is just, then there's no more conversation to be had. It's that simple. So there you go. And also, another person who has not read Colossians 3:12. So, boy.
Last night I had a guest, and he was, I think he was deliberately wasting my time. You know, you can tell by the way that they're talking that they're pretty intelligent, but they're refusing to get to, like, they're being obtuse.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't understand. I don't understand, like, what's evil to you? Well, I still don't get it. And I'm like, well, you know what I think is evil, sir, right? Like, if I had a list of actions in front of you, you could accurately tell me which ones I think are evil and which ones I don't think are evil.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I like to ask these questions. Yeah. And I like to make them tell me what it is, and I work within their framework. So I like doing the internal critique thing, as can't really get away from it. Yeah, I hear it. Well, let's bring up the next guest. Floxagiz. All right. Floxagiz. How's it going?
You can call me Trey. I'm sorry. It's good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Are you at least 18? And which God do you believe in?
Yes, sir. I'm 22, and I'm a son of God. Firm believer in that. So my reasons.
Wait, hold on. Which God? God of the Bible? God of the Torah? God of the Quran?
The one true God, the Jewish God, the one that, David cracked Goliath in the head over.
Okay. Bible God. All right. Okay. What you got for God being just?
The reason God is just, and please correct me if I'm wrong for this, when the Nephilim was created, right? Was that a just act of God? Did God want his angels to come down here and make babies?
I don't know. I don't believe in the Nephilim.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay. So let me ask, what do you believe in?
I believe in a lot of things, just not gods and no gods. I don't believe in any gods.
May I ask why you don't believe in gods?
because I read the Bible, and the Bible has lots of contradictions, anachronisms. God is immoral. Jesus is a fraud. I don't know, a lot of reasons.
So for Jesus to be a fraud, right? I'm sorry, whoever's below me, but for Jesus to be a fraud, right? When he came in, he fought the Pharisees and he battled against them to his time on the cross. What makes him a fraud? Everything he said happened. Everything he did happen. No other man can do this.
Mm-hmm. Everything he said happened?
Everything he did. When he walked up to the blind man, did the blind man see again? When he touched the man who couldn't walk, did he get up and walk again?
Okay, well, that's as far as we know. We don't even know that happened, right?
You're right. We don't know that happened, but it's wrote down because that's God's word, right?
Okay, so how do we know that's true?
We know this is true for a sole fact. What man has walked around and touched somebody in their eyes and gave them their eyesight back? Current day.
There's a guru in India that's doing that right now. If you look on YouTube, there's a guru that does it in front of hundreds of thousands of Hindus. So that makes Hinduism true?
No, it does not. Hinduism is not all the way true, and it's not all the way right.
How does that make Christianity true? That Jesus just walked around and healed people?
Because he did. There is over 500 eyewitnesses who saw this. The Bible has eyewitnesses who said and have accounted for it. Jesus walked and did this and this.
Let's shift back. We're pivoting. So let's get back to the question above my head. What's your best evidence that God is just? So you said
the best evidence that.
Yeah. Could you repeat
my evidence for him being just?
Yeah.
Like the pastor said before, the city of Sodom, Gomorrah, the world being flooded. Have we not noticed that there's water turning red, that everything God said was going to happen in the Bible has started happening?
Right. So let me ask you this then. Because see, this is the one the minister avoided. He dodged. And that the question I asked him is, does killing babies a just act?
No, it is not. It is a very unjust act.
It's very unjust?
No, it is not.
Okay. So are you saying then that when God flooded the entire world and killed all but 8 people, there were 0 babies that were alive?
Why did God flood the world? He flooded the world because Nephilims created babies that should not have been created.
Oh yeah, but
Noah was the only person, right? Noah was the only person on the boat.
Hold on. So there were babies, and you just said earlier that killing babies is not just. So that wasn't just.
No. But God created the babies. God created the angels that created those babies. God did not say,
okay,
when I create my children is going to go. And
so certain babies are okay to kill.
No, because if you look at it today, okay, let me explain this, right? Look at the Jewish people in the world. No, hold on.
Got him.
You didn't care. So explain why Jewish people are killing babies and they're not going to heaven for it. Explain why that is called selling their souls to the devil.
I don't know anything about that. We're pivoting. I'm asking you about.
No, we're not pivoting because we're on the same topic, sir.
I'm not talking about Jewish people being just. I'm talking about God being just. So
okay,
that's
so this is my thing, right?
So we're going to take it back to God being just. So I asked you. So you said, on one hand, you said it's not just to kill babies, but then
it is not.
But then God killed a bunch of babies. So that means God wasn't just.
Those babies was corrupt. That's what you're not understanding. Okay, those babies were messed up. They were not supposed to be there. That's not how God intended them to be.
Okay, so those babies were corrupt. So those babies were okay to kill. So only corrupt babies are okay to kill. Yeah.
Only God, the Father, has the right to kill anything or take whatever he chooses. I did not say for us to be humans that it's okay for us to do that, because it's not.
No,
God did what was just in his eyes.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
He flooded the world because this was something that should not have happened. So it was an abomination.
It was abomination. So as long as the babies are an abomination and are corrupt, it's okay for God to kill those babies. Yeah?
Those babies was half angels. You do know that, right?
I don't believe that, but okay.
Why not? The Nephilim was here.
Okay, sure. But what I'm trying to understand from you is that because the thing that you said is that babies that are corrupt and was the other one? Corrupt and half angels are okay to kill.
Half angels. They were Nephilims. That's the babies that we're talking about.
Half angels and corrupt babies are okay to kill. We should just wipe them out.
We don't have the right to do none of that. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Don't twist it like I'm saying we have the right to do that, because we don't. We did not make them.
Does that include the Midianite babies?
What is that? Can you explain to me what that is?
You don't know what the Midianites are? Who the Midianites are? They were one of the race of people that the Israelites genocided by God's command. So were those
by
babies?
God's command. So if that was God's will, that means that was just.
Okay,
God said do it. It was just.
Okay, so let me ask. Okay, well then here's the crux question. All right. This could be a short one, everybody, but here's the correct question. If God told you to go to the local orphanage and round up all the babies and microwave them all, would you do it?
My God in heaven, the Father in heaven.
Yeah.
If he told me to, yes, I will, because it is his
Ooh.
word. It is in his will.
And there it is. Have a good day.
There
All
it
right.
goes.
Wow.
POSFF.
Yep.
What's the counter?
POSFF. Yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. Wow.
That's why people ask why do you, if you don't believe in it, why do you spend so much time talking about this on the internet? Because we want to help people get out of this before they turn into somebody like that. And when they are already like that, expose them and make people not want to join, because there's people who would willingly microwave babies if they thought their God said to do it. Very dangerous shit. Trust, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. You got it, man. Have a good one, man. See ya. Everybody follow All Righteous Atheists. We're going to go live soon as a collab, as a joint project between me and Lopes. So everybody, how you doing, Dr. Elijah? It's been a while.
Hey, man. How's it going? Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. It's good to see you. Good to hear you.
No, absolutely. I, just sitting here and enjoying as usual. But you kind of took the question, so I'm just here to enjoy and support and give gifts. And but if there's ever an opportunity that is okay and respectful to you and your platform, to share, I had that same question that you asked them, and then you asked it. So I'm here as a fan in the audience. So truly thankful for the work that you do. Really wish people knew how healthy it is what you're doing, and for an individual to be walking around and believing what it is they believe, to the point that if he told them to microwave them, you would do it. That is, isn't it? That is next level. So I don't need to take up any more time.
Next level. You just said next
that
level.
That is otherworldly. That is otherworldly. But
right.
Yeah, if you ever need a point of view, man, I'm here to back you up.
You wanna stay up for a minute? If you got time?
Yeah, I don't mind hanging out a bit.
All right, let's do it. All right. So I know we've been talking about doing a co-host thing, so you might as well just stay and do a little ad hoc.
No, yeah, I'm definitely wanting to when the time and everything is appropriate for you. Those are a lot of the numbers are telling the truth about the body of work that you're doing. The analogy that I give with that is, if there's a car manufacturer, and this is out of the realm of religion, this is out of the realm of politics, all those things. If a car manufacturer says, hey, we make the best and safest car, and motor vehicle reports, Department of Transportation and surrounding hospitals are getting accidents, wrecks, fender benders, people are getting hurt, unalived, and those things, the appropriate time is going to come for us to look into the manufacturer of that vehicle. Yeah. So what the heck is my point? As a licensed mental health professional that does not push politics, faith, religion, or anything like that, the number of mentally and emotionally abused people that do not know each other. It's not like they created a club somewhere and said, hey, let's all go to Dr. Elijah Frazier and tell him our religious and faith-based problems. With someone who is just going by numbers, the amount of people that come across my desk with the religious abuse, trauma, and manipulation, it is necessary for us to look into the manufacturer of this religion.
Absolutely. And that's why I cut that guy off early, because
yeah, you weren't getting anywhere with that.
No, not at all. Yeah. I just wanted to hear him say that, and then that was it. So
that's
all I just needed to hear him say.
Yeah. Very, very thankful for what you're doing, and I can hang out. I can drop back down. It's up to you. Very thankful for what you do.
I brought Ember up because we have to do a quick announcement. How you doing, Ember?
Awesome.
I am good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Happy Friday to you.
Hey, same to you. Right. It has been a day and a half since I have vaped. So I am I am doing well. I'm excited
Yes.
and happy, and
Yes.
we'll see.
Very
I've been consuming a lot of peach rings in the interim.
Okay. Well, peach
So
rings.
that
yeah.
is that is my what's the word, replacement right now.
Okay.
So
That's okay.
yeah.
It's all right.
I'm down for it though. But
Yeehaw.
yeah. So but I can get into my announcement. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm so glad to see all of you. Welcome to Trust But Verifies Live. We have 222 people in here. I love that number. And if y'all can keep tapping the screen, we're almost at 25K. So if we could get there real quick, that would be amazing. And we can work up to the
nice.
50 K likes. We have 109 shares, which is awesome. Let's try and get up to 150 if we can. If you long press the screen, you can repost the live and share it individually more easily, and then we can get up to those numbers, which just helps to keep us on the FYP so that we can continue having good conversations with people. Let me see here. If you want to interact with the live, we have a couple different options you can send, just like Patrina just did. You can send the Let 'em Cooks. What will happen when it gets filled is it will trigger an early kick poll so that we can all vote on the guest that is up.
And sorry to interrupt. We have coupons out
Yeah.
there too. So folks have coupons, so have
Yes.
them coupons ready.
We also have coupons, and yeah, you can't get rid of me. So sorry to anyone who may
That's right.
who may want to kick poll me.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yes.
So
This is kind of the definition of special pleading right here. Is
it's true.
Kick
It's true.
polls apply to everyone except Ember.
Yes, and mods. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and
Cannot.
Dr. Elijah too.
Yes, exactly. But yes, we just filled that, so it'll trigger an early kick poll for the next person, I'm guessing. And then if you want to get rid of a guest immediately, you can send a jellyfish, and then you can do that with super chats over on the YTube side.
Yep.
Speaking of YTube, Trust is on there and the Purple app, so make sure you follow him, Trust But Verify 2024, on all of those areas. And then there's different like membership levels depending on if you want to oh my goodness, appreciate what he's doing and support his work more consistently. Different lower ones than here on TikTok. You can do more expensive ones, either, whatever you want to do. We also know that it financially is difficult right now for most people, so we understand. Lauren, it is with but yeah, so I say the Purple app just for the algorithm. But yes, and then we have a Discord. Just go to the link in Trust bio, the link tree. You'll have to copy and paste the link into your browser, but once you do that, the invitation should work. It's open to anyone and everyone. We just ask that you be respectful, follow the rules, and discuss things in good faith is really what we enjoy.
Yep.
And yes, I agree to hear. I love our Discord. So we have some good things going on in there. Let me see. Thank you so much for the gifts, everyone. And then what am I missing? No caps, no spamming in chat, no preaching, no praying without consent. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. No praying without consent, and just don't be a dick in the chat, basically.
There we go.
And yes, Pax, you should join Trust Discord. We
Absolutely.
have fun in there.
Absolutely.
So, yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you, everyone. That's really nice of you. But I think I got everything. So
I think you did.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience as we do these announcements. They only happen one time in the live. So thank you for your patience as we get through them. And yeah, we are going to have a great time in here today.
I think it's going to be it's going to be a little bit more lively than it has been. So yeah,
I'm excited. I'm back. I took the day off yesterday, and I'm back, and I'm ready to be here the whole time. So
all right.
Yeah, thank you,
right.
everyone. Appreciate you. Thank you, Trust. Excited to hear you speak also, Dr. Elijah. And yeah, I'm going to drop because I'm
Okay.
awkward and I don't know how to end things.
It's okay. We still love you.
I'm
Thank
like,
you.
I'm just going to keep talking until
Okay.
I'm stopped.
All right. All right. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
All
Okay,
right.
bye.
See
I'm
ya.
done. Okay, bye.
All right. Everybody chase Ember with some love and gifts. All right. Thank you, Ember. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, we can get back to the business at hand. We've got quite a few people sitting in chat, so this is great. All right, let's get to our next guest. You ready, Doctor?
I am.
Good, Doctor. All right, very good. All right, let's get with Johnny. How you doing, Johnny?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm good.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for waiting. And just for TikTok verification, you're at least 18?
Yeah.
All right. And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
Bible, I'm Christian.
Okay. And what's your best evidence that God is just?
So I would say for me, the book of Revelation sort of essentially is the way that I guess God kind of makes a lot of the Bible make sense. Throughout the entire Bible, there's a lot of atrocities going on. People are oppressed, the poor are taken advantage of. People, have a lot of wrong things done to them. And then there's a lot of, even the prophets who are people of God, they sort of look up to God and ask, like, why are these things happening? And then when you get to the book of Revelations, it's sort of like you reveal, or God reveals to John, what's really happening, right? They call it like the cosmic battle of the spirits, things like that. There have been forces of evil that have been working the entire time. And then he allows John to kind of get a glimpse into that. And then at the end of the book, he kind of shows what his entire plan for humanity was the entire time, was to redeem them through Christ and then make all things new. People who had been, unjustly killed, people who have been murdered. It says even like the sea gave up their dead. People who have had these horrible, tragic things happen to them are raised and, they fellowship in communion with God. And that was God's intention for humanity the entire time, was to restore them to his original creative design.
All right. Let me kind of get a little bit of clarification. To you, is Revelation, is that literal history? Is it future prophecy, allegory, or political resistance literature? These are different like things that like scholars and Christians have categorized Revelation as. So what is it to you?
Right. So to me, I would say it's partly historical, because in the beginning, it does talk about how, the Apostle John got there, right? There's a lot of the issues he had with the Romans, and he was exiled over there. And then it's also futuristic prophecy, I would say. I think that's the main aspect of it.
Okay. So it's a mix of history and prophecy.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then, and sorry, let me interject. There are also, in the beginning of Revelations, there's also these sort of letters that John writes to different churches. So I would say there are also, instructions sort of, I think, I'm sorry, there was something you said political, what was that?
Political resistance literature.
Okay, maybe that's not what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was like a metaphor for Nero at the time that Nero was ruling.
Right.
That's what some scholars say. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
you don't think that's what it is. So
no,
so
I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah. So it sounds like you land on history and prophecy. That's what it sounds like. All right. And okay. And so how do we evaluate justice? Because you would agree that there is some violence in Revelation, right?
In the prophetic part?
Yeah, like people were thrown into the lake of fire, things of that sort. Yeah. So how do we evaluate justice if the same being accused of violence is also the standard of justice?
You're saying that God is enacting the violence on the world in the book of Revelation?
I would say that, yeah.
Well, I would say it's more so that, there is a part where God sort of, there's the 7 bowls, the 7 seals and everything. But I think that that's more so God sort of allowing.
And these are like apocalyptic things. Yeah. This is like Armageddon, right? It's going to be earthquakes and all these kind of, darkness and all this other stuff, right? It's going to wreak havoc on the world.
Right. I think what it's more so of is God sort of removing his grace from the world and allowing, the forces of evil to sort of reign rampant.
Okay.
Right. And that's why there's a part in the Bible where it's like people will seek for death and they won't find it. Right. Like the world will be so horrible that people will actually try to unalive themselves. and it like that won't happen.
Are you saying the final judgment isn't violent?
No, it certainly is, but I don't
that's
believe
God
that
doing
it's
that, right?
direct. No, I don't believe it's direct action from God. I think it's God's kind of inaction.
It's God's inaction?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's kind of clear this up because because the final judgment in Revelation is, let's see, it's chapter 20, right? So it's like the end of it. Yeah, it's towards the end. So okay, and so what happens in judgment? So when somebody is judged, what happens?
So
what happens
the final judgment, there are the people who go to heaven, people who go to hell. It's pretty standard.
So they're cast into hell, right?
Well, not everybody.
Yeah, but the people who are cast into hell, right? So yeah. So this is kind of where it is. This is Revelation 20, and I saw the dead. So this is basically what happens. Standing before the throne, books were open, and the dead were judged according to their works as recorded in the books. And the sea gave up the dead who were in it. Death and Hades gave up the bed, and then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. Then this is the second death, the lake of fire. And anyone whose name was not found written in the book was thrown into the lake of fire. That sounds pretty violent to me. Who's doing the throwing?
Well, I guess, what is the lake of fire to you? We can sort of clarify that up as well.
Well, that's hell. Yeah, that's the second death. It says it right here.
But like what goes on there is sort of, I guess, what I was trying to get at.
This says it right here. This is the second death, the lake of fire. And anyone whose name was not found written in the books of life was thrown into the lake of fire.
I think you and I can both agree that that's kind of arbitrary, right? There should be, or I guess like we would need a little bit more context. And there's context throughout the Bible, but I guess I'm asking you your opinion. If you were to give me sort of like a day in the life of someone who was thrown into the lake of fire, I guess what would you imagine that would be like?
It's the second death.
Of course, we'd be speculating here.
It means annihilation. That's what it means. So, there's other places in the Bible where they talk about the second death, and it's an annihilation. So that's what this is referring to. So you're just consumed. You're burned up. You're annihilated. That's it. So that sounds pretty violent to me.
Do you have a source for that?
I can find one, but this is really your Bible, right? So
right.
What is the second death then?
So let me, I guess, clarify. There are like a nihilistic Christians who believe that hell is sort of a nihilistic. You burn up and then you're consumed until you're nothing, that sort of thing. I don't really follow that school of thought. I think that the main part of hell, or the main reason why it's such a terrible place, is because you are completely removed from the presence of God. Okay. And the Bible says like every good and perfect gift comes from God. God stamped his stamp of creation throughout all of the world. And so we're able to enjoy these things, even if we're not Christian, even if we don't believe in God, we're able to enjoy certain things because, we are still in the presence of God. When you're in hell, that is completely removed. So even the basic aspects of life are just not there. Okay. And I think that's why it's so horrible, right? And the reason why, I guess, or I guess my best piece of evidence for that is if you go into the Bible in Matthew, I can't remember exactly what chapter it was, but this is Christ in the garden before he's crucified. He's praying to God, saying that I don't want to have to go through this, right? And he's talking about his crucifixion. Okay. And the reason why that's important is because it wasn't the physical death or the physical crucifixion that he was afraid of. Okay. It was the fear of being without God in the same way that somebody who would cast it into hell would have to experience.
All right, Johnny. So I guess then in that sense, because I think really what we're kind of circling around, it sounds like your assertion that God is just is because of what will happen in Revelation in end times, right? So everybody's going to be judged. I think that's kind of what we're getting out of this. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think that's a fair take.
Okay. All right. So then, in that sense, does that mean that the suffering that's going on now, is justified because of the end times judgment?
Well, I don't know, right? I'm not necessarily, I don't know why the suffering happens now, right? I don't know if there is a direct reason for it, or I don't know if, it's caused by the fact that we're, again, somewhat removed from the presence of God while we're on earth in Christ and God is in heaven.
So you can't really ascertain whether or not it's necessary.
Yes. Well, I guess I'd say yes. In most cases, right? I can only speak on experiences that
Okay.
that
All right.
that I
And
can.
so animals who suffer through natural means, not by human means, but natural means, is that necessary?
I wouldn't say it's necessary. I would say it's more of an effect.
It's more of an effect?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So for example, and this might be a terrible example, but you think of a student who's taking an exam, right? And the student doesn't study for their exam and just kind of passes time by, and they take the exam and then they fail, but then they felt really bad that they failed the exam, and so like the next 5 exams they studied really hard and then got an A on every single exam, while the failure was sort of necessary for that, or let me not say necessary, while the failure was sort of the catalyst for that student passing the next 5 exams. I wouldn't say that it was necessary for it to happen, right? Like it didn't have to happen. The student could have studied for the first exam and could have passed.
Okay. So how then, so are you saying then that like things like animals being eaten alive, like, because we see plenty of instances of that if you watch National Geographic, that pride of lions is like, eating the guts out of like a zebra while it's still living. You're saying that is because that is necessary or not necessary?
I would say my opinion on it would be that it's not that it's not necessary or necessary. It's more of an effect. Like the reason why we have, right. I think the reason why we have, sort of like animals being vicious to each other, human beings being vicious to each other, is because we live in a world that is somewhat devoid of God.
Okay.
Like it's stamped by God, but it's devoid in that we're not directly influenced by him. He's not here presently with us.
And could God stop that if he wanted to?
I'm sure, like he has the power to.
Okay. And so he chooses not to, stop animal suffering, like that kind of animal suffering. And what makes that just?
So I think, and this is a question that, even Christians ourselves have debated amongst each other. I think the best answer that I can give, well, let me first say, I don't know, but I would say the best answer that I could possibly give would be, that love requires choices. Right. And I think that if God were to sort of stop, violence or, these horrible things that are going on in the world, I think that would rob us of the choice to choose God. And I think that's.
How does that relate? How do animals getting eaten alive relate to choice and love? That doesn't follow for me.
Okay, my bad. I thought we were talking about just suffering.
No, I'm talking about, I'm specifically using the example of animal suffering, because there really isn't an answer for this in your worldview, because now would you, if you had the power to stop animal suffering through natural means, would you stop it?
I guess it would depend on what we're classifying as animal suffering. So for example, if I had the power
animals
to
being
stop,
eaten alive,
I think animals have to eat to survive, right?
Sure, so but they can eat. But they can eat dead animals, right? You can make it so that animals just kill instantly, right? Like they don't have to eat. Are you saying they have to eat animals alive in order to survive?
Well, I'm saying scientifically, right? If a lion is eating a zebra that's still alive, eventually the zebra's gonna die. Like the zebra doesn't die instantly, right?
Yeah, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they die. They eat them dead, but then there are times that they eat them alive. And what I'm trying to understand is, why is it necessary for animals to be eaten alive? Because I mean that's clearly suffering, right?
I guess my issue is I just don't see how that necessarily is a fixation on justice or not. I think
I'm trying to understand.
There's a natural.
Well, see, justice implies morality, because the definition of justice is that which lines up with with morality, like things that are morally right. Okay. So
I'm sorry, can you say that again? It kind of cut out for me.
The definition of justice is that which lines up with what is morally right and fair. So what I'm trying to understand is it just morally right and fair for animals to suffer needlessly?
Well, okay, so I guess I'm not really understanding where this is going, just because
you don't have to. I just need you to answer the question, and we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, just answer the question.
I've never really. Okay. So my answer then is I've never really thought about it. But if I had to give an answer off tops,
okay.
Then
so I mean, do you oppose animal cruelty?
Well, certainly, yeah.
Okay.
I think that.
Okay.
I think that purposeful infliction on animals, right?
Okay. So animals suffering needlessly is kind of so animals don't need to suffer needlessly, right? They don't have to suffer needlessly. Yeah. Needless suffering, right?
Right.
Okay.
But which is where I guess I have an issue. Sorry, were you going to say something?
Well, because I'm trying to still understand, if you saw an animal suffering and you could prevent that or stop that suffering at no cost to you, would you do it? Or would you just continue on your day?
It would depend on the context of which the animal was suffering. So, for example, if I saw a dog that, was walking on 3 legs because its 4th paw was injured or hurt or something, sure, I would. If I could heal the dog, I would do it, right?
Like,
but
let's say
if I saw a lion eating a zebra and the zebra was like screaming for its life and the lion was eating the zebra, I wouldn't stop that because that's just the natural course of things, right? The lion has to eat. The zebra happened to be the one that the lion got, and that's
right.
nature.
We got to pause for the kick poll, but here I just got to start it because we're doing an early kick poll today because we hit the goal before you came up. So, okay, so what I'm trying. Okay, so then, but there are situations in which you would stop it, like say a dog chained to a chained to a pole, like in freezing cold weather, something like that. Now that's human. Right. That's human done. But like, let me think of another example. Like like I've seen videos of like deer getting their antlers caught in like branches, and they can't escape. Right. And then people encounter them, and then they try to save them. Right. Right. So how about like a situation like that? So it's a totally natural occurring thing. There's not going to be any harm done to you if you try to save this animal. Would you try to save it? Or would you just keep moving on?
I mean, yeah, if there's not going to be, if the deer's not going to attack me afterwards or it's not going to hurt me to save the deer, sure, I would do it.
Okay. And so would it be the morally right thing to do to just keep walking?
I think that
if you knew you could save it without any harm to you. Right. And
I guess I don't think it would be the morally wrong thing to do to keep walking, right?
Well, yeah. So is it the moral? So it's neither right nor wrong? It's just neutral?
Yeah, I would say so. If you saw a natural occurrence, right? You didn't cause something. Another human being didn't cause this to happen. And it was just a natural occurrence. And you decided that you weren't going to do that. I wouldn't say that that's morally wrong.
Okay. What moral principle does that follow then?
I'm not sure I'm following. Can you clarify?
A moral principle is something like the golden rule, right? Do unto others as they would do unto you. Keep your promises. Be honest. Those are moral principles. So what moral principle does it follow to either save or not save an animal?
I'd say let nature take its course.
What moral principle is that?
Oh,
how is that a moral principle?
That was the moral principle. You're allowing the natural order of things to, flow as it does.
Things. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think that's a moral principle. But all right. Well, they decided to move on, Johnny. But I appreciate you coming up.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate the poll.
Yeah, have a good one. So, I guess. See, this is kind of like the shortage here. Yeah. So it's neither moral nor immoral.
No, that wasn't it. Can you hear me? Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic is on. Yeah. Oh, okay. Were you trying to jump in? I'm sorry.
No. Oh, okay. I'm never jumping in unless requested.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you were talking, I just respect your flow, your cadence, all of that. Like unless you say, "Hey, Doc, what do you think?" or something like that. No, I'm just here to follow the rules. But
I was just gonna say jump in anytime, but that's okay. If you want me to defer to you, yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah, always only. I'm not here to.
That's fair.
Anything.
I can do that.
But yeah, so weaponized incompetence is a real thing. It is a very real thing. And your application and modality here was kind of like those tests to where they ask you a question, and then later on in the test they ask you the same question, but they ask it in a different way, just to see if your answer is the same. Now, the intelligence of this young man could see the forecasting of, oh crap, this is the same question that I answered a certain way the first time, but now this question has become a lot more clear and I have to avoid it or I'm going to be wrong or I'm going to prove his point.
Yeah.
So that's where it became the neutral, just keep going or not save it, because he already could project and forecast you coming right back to the question of morality once again. And that is why we got into the gray area of, well, I don't know. And again, weaponizing competence is real. I think you could have asked him the same question as the last guy. Like if God told you to, but yeah, it's a real thing. And one of the questions that I ask people all the time is, if you grew up in a family, a city, a state, a nation, a country, and you believed everything that the people in the world around you told you, but then there was a professional. Let's just say that you've been having a bad tummy ache, and your mom and your dad and your friends and your family, neighborhood, city, state are like, oh, it's this. But then one day you decide to go to the hospital, and the doctor says, hey, all of these people have been telling you the wrong thing. This is what's wrong with you. I always ask them, would you believe the doctor or would you believe the people around you? And, oh, well, I will believe the doctor. Okay. Well, what I am telling you with a non-faith base, because it's there, but what I am telling you is this is what is wrong, and not necessarily wrong, but this is the application and the diagnosis clinically. Well, I don't believe that. Well, you just said you would believe the doctor.
You said you
and
would, and I'm a doctor.
I so happen to be one of those. So if I'm telling you you got a common cold, are you going to be like, no, that's not it? So again, once you get into those black and white, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Once I give the numbers, the hard fact, now you're going to start to argue with plain facts. And that is where the psychosis starts to creep in. That is, it's a very real thing. So, I had a couple questions, but I don't want to give away my ammo. But they usually can't get away from those questions.
Okay.
Once
Well,
asked.
let's see if we can make that happen on the next guest. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because one of my friends, Ems, he's a doctor, medical doctor. I think you might have seen him around, right? Ems.
Maybe.
Yeah, and ex-Muslim, right? And native Arabic speaker. So native Arabic speaker, ex-Muslim, medical doctor, and it is stunning the number of people who he will give you medical information, and they will just flat out just say you're wrong. And it is absolutely stunning.
Yes, it is real. And when they say, well, do you know this? Do you know that? And humbly, but necessarily, I say, do you know the height of my education? Because I was that pastor in the pulpit. I was that. And there's a difference between, getting a certification or a degree or something like that to become a pastor. But then there's a difference of actually going to study these scriptures, the inception, where it came from.
Okay.
Many people can't even tell you the difference between exegesis and eisegesis.
Yeah.
And this book for you is a book of motivation and inspiration. And one day it can mean this to you, but if it ever proves you wrong, no, it doesn't mean that anymore. Exactly. And also not understanding that certain constructs and structures are needed to support one another. And if they understood why the church and the faith was built the way it is and was to support other things, they would be introduced to some new facts.
Absolutely. All right, we got a new guest up. G Hardy, how you doing?
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing well. All right. Just for TikTok purposes, are you at least 18?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay. And which God do you believe in? The Bible, the Torah, the Quran?
Christian God, yeah, the Bible.
All right. Okay. What's your best evidence that God is just?
So I was listening to your conversation with the other guy, Johnny, I think his name was. You were talking about moral principles, and I don't actually buy that you have any moral principles yourself.
Okay. What's your evidence that God is just?
So I'm saying that for you to even ask.
All right, I got to stop you right there. So, G. Hardy, you're aware of like social graces, right? Like social contracts. You know what those are? I think his Wi-Fi crapped out.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. So do you know what social contracts are?
Yeah, it depends on what you mean by that, though.
Okay. So when you came across my live, you saw the question up above my head, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you coming in intending to answer that question?
Yeah, I was, and then when y'all were
Let's
talking,
go,
it didn't.
All
Really...
right. Okay. Then let's answer the question. What's your best evidence that God is just?
Okay. So I would ground it in his ontology.
Okay.
And that's kind of where we're going to go, because that's why I opened up the line of questioning that I started with, because you don't have any principle or even evidence to negate my statement.
Okay, so how does my lack of principle and evidence give evidence that your God is just? Let's just say you're right. How is that evidence that God is just?
Oh, okay. So if you're accepting that I'm right,
let's just say you're right. But how is that evidence that God is just?
Because it's grounded in his ontology. It's
in his
what
ontology.
His substance is.
Yeah. So
yes.
Okay. So and his ontology is what? His substance is what?
It's justness. I mean, you can ask
ontology
a better question.
So God is just because his ontology is justice. That sounds. Hold on.
It's an attribute. It's an attribute.
So God is just because his ontology is justice.
No, I mean not completely, but it's a part of it.
It's a part of it. Okay.
Yeah, it's an attribute of God.
You're basically saying God is just because he's just.
Yeah, at the foundational level, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Because it's an attribute of him. If you wanted to ask like where would I get that from, I would say the Bible.
Yeah. Okay. You say the Bible. All right.
Right.
And so
like Revelation.
Are all things in the Bible just?
No, of course not. There's examples of injustice, like injustice.
Are all things that describe God's actions, are all of those just? Like God's laws, God's commands, are all of those just?
Yeah, given within the context.
Go. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. And so what makes it just to punish innocent people?
See, this is I knew we were going to get to this, because this is the only like line of attack that atheists have, is like you're assuming that people are innocent, and I reject that premise.
Okay. So when you're saying that no people are innocent, and so everyone deserves to be punished regardless.
No, I didn't say that either.
Okay.
That's a straw man.
Okay. So, well, I'm asking you a question. I'm trying to clarify. It's a clarifying question.
No, yeah, I know.
So it's not a straw man. The question isn't a straw man, right?
Right. You said that everybody deserved to be punished, so that's not what I said.
Okay. So not everybody is innocent. Nobody is innocent. Am I hearing that right?
No, not everyone is innocent.
Not everyone is innocent? Okay.
Right.
Now, when people who are getting punished for others' sins, they're not innocent?
When people who are getting punished for others'
sins in the Bible, are they innocent or not innocent?
Well, they would have sins of their own.
Okay. So is it just then to punish somebody who has sins of their own, but to punish them for somebody else's sins that aren't their own? Is that just?
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. So like, for example, because I have 2 kids, right? So if one of my kids like went in and got an F in school, are you saying that it would be just for me to punish the other kid if they didn't get any Fs?
Not in that
talk back
no.
to me the night before, they talk back to me the night before, let's say, and I didn't punish them for that, but next day my kid comes home with an F in school, it's okay for me to punish the first kid for the F in school?
No. I wouldn't say that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what makes it just for God to do that then?
Depends on the context.
Depends. Okay. What context makes it just? So context.
You'd have to point to like this example that you're referencing.
Okay. Well, give me an example of a context that would make it just.
You're the one that's bringing it up.
Yeah. I got like many different examples. So, but I'm trying to get from you in what context, give me an example of a context that makes it just to punish somebody for somebody else's sins that the first person did not commit.
I don't know. It would be. I think it would be hard to think of a scenario on a micro level, like from a human perspective. But I could see plenty of perspectives, or plenty of like hypotheticals that I could think of from like God's perspective, because His ways are higher than our ways, stuff like that. That has he can see into the future, so. There's a huge chasm of degree of consciousness that I have between me, an individual human flying around on the rock, and God. So.
Dr. Elijah, you want to jump in for a sec?
It's a difference. It's a difference in kind. You know what I'm saying? Like the consciousness of a individual on Earth is obviously different than an all-powerful, all-knowing, God. So there would be a difference in kind of consciousness. So I think it would be hard for me to think of an example for an individual.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Dr. Elijah, you got any feedback on that, or anything you want to jump in with?
I mean, would it be fair, G. Hardy, to say, in this instance, that you don't know?
Of a hypothetical?
Yeah. So, I mean, having the question here, I'm an atheist. What's your best evidence that God is just? And there's a little bit of circular reasoning going on, and really didn't land that. So, in this case, you coming to the live, on your own will, willing to engage. Would you say that you don't have an answer? Would you say just in this case you don't know, since we can't think of a hypothetical or lead to a scripture or anything to back up, what it is we're saying? Would it be fair for you to say you don't know?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the hypothetical that he posed to me. I was saying that I couldn't think of an example where what was it? You punish someone for the sins of someone else.
Yeah, and you agree with that or disagree?
It's not something that I agree or disagree with. I'm saying that I can't think of a because I know he's referencing something. I just don't know of a example off the top of my head that I can point to and be like, yeah, this is a good example. Okay. Is that not fair?
Yeah.
To be able to not, I think that's I'm not able to think of a hypothetical for your specific,
yeah, that's fair.
Line of
questioning. Okay. All right. Well, here, let me bring up something from the Bible here. Okay. All right. So this is 2 Samuel, I'm sorry. Well, it's both in 2 Samuel and 1 Chronicles, but in 1 Chronicles, this talks about the famine or pestilence that God sent because of David, and it killed 70,000 people. So was that just?
You want to read it together, or yeah. You just want me to? Sorry.
Yeah. So it says, so under 2 Samuel, says it right here. It's above my head here, if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, so God, that should say God, but it says Gad. But God came to David and told him, he asked him, shall 7 years of famine come to you on your land, or will you flee 3 months before your foes while they pursue you? Or shall there be 3 days pestilence in your land? Now consider and decide what answer I shall return to the one who sent me. Then David said to God, I am in great distress. Let us fall into the hands of the Lord, for his mercy is great, but not let me fall into human hands. So the Lord sent a pestilence on Israel from that morning until the appointed time, and 70,000 of the people died from Dan to Beersheba. So this is something that David did. And so, but God sent a pestilence that killed 70,000 people. So was that just?
Yeah, in that context, I would say it was.
And for what reason? What makes it just to punish someone for David's sins? For David not obeying God? What makes that just?
This is kind of going back to like the first thing that I was mentioning. Like, I don't think you have any grounds to say it wasn't just.
That's why I'm asking you. So that's why I'm asking you to tell me why it's just. I already conceded. I just said, let's just imagine for a moment that I have no grounding. But I still need to ask you, right? How do you think I should learn the grounding if I don't ask you, right, G. Hardy? Are you saying you saying that any answer you give me, I would fail to understand? Is that what you're saying? Because I have no grounding in it.
Any question that I give you, you wouldn't understand?
Any answer you give me, I would fail to understand. Is that what you're saying to me? Like because I have no grounding, I just couldn't possibly understand the answer you would give me. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is whatever answer that I give you, if it doesn't align with your preferences, then it wouldn't be, you wouldn't even consider it.
What do you consider my preferences?
Your morality.
Okay, what is my morality?
I don't know what it is.
Then how would you know what I would say? It seems like you're trying to read my mind.
No, because I've already grounded his justness in his ontology.
Okay, so you're saying then that killing 70,000 people for a king's decision is just. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, within the context, because you got to think about it like this.
Help us out with the context. Tell us what the context is.
I mean, if we're gonna pay like Bible trivia, I'd have to go and look at the passage and read, you know, maybe it's like more than a couple of verses before and a couple of verses after.
Are we saying then that because God, so like if say the president, because of another country's leader's decision, went and bombed their people and killed 70,000 people, would that be just?
It would depend on the circumstances, I think.
Just regular citizens, not army or anything like that. Just regular citizens. They just drop a bomb in a neighborhood in a city and just kill 70,000 just unarmed citizens. Would that be just?
No, I wouldn't think it would be, no.
Okay, so what makes this just here? Because that's essentially the same thing. God sent a pestilence that killed 70,000 people because of David's decision. So why is this just?
Because, I mean, you could think of a scenario where, like, because of David's decision, I mean, I don't remember the passage exactly, but you could think of a scenario where David's decision caused 80,000 people to die.
Okay. All right. And so
do you see what I'm saying? Like the problem is like pointing.
This doesn't make sense. So
No. It's like the butterfly effect. You know, some people do things and you don't know what the repercussions are down the line, you know, hundreds of years later or different location. There's multiple reasons why God doing that would be perfectly fine.
Dr. Elijah, you want to jump in?
Yeah. So G. Hardy, so you're a believer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask how long you've been a believer?
Probably about 10 years.
Okay. And you believe the entire Bible through and through?
Yeah, but it would depend on what you mean by believe.
Like every word in it, you agree with it, you follow it to the letter, you know, everything. You believe in the word of God.
I would say that it's not like in the way that it's supposed to be understood. Then yes.
Okay.
For example, like Revelations, they were talking about Revelations earlier. Mm-hmm. That's obviously like apocalyptic literature. I don't think most of that is, you know, actual factual things that are going to happen. I think it's filled with symbolism and stuff like that. You know.
So you believe in some parts of the Bible, but not all the parts.
No, I believe in all of it.
Okay.
It's just there's different literature has different purposes, and you know, like the Psalms is filled with poetry. It's not supposed to be taken literally.
So there are some parts of the Bible that we should take literally, and other parts of the Bible we have to kind of break down the metaphors and assemblies and things like that to get a different or better understanding.
Of course, it's not supposed to be. Most of it's not supposed to be a textbook. You know, like even like Genesis. You know, there's a lot of like fundamentalists out there that would take it completely literal. I wouldn't take it literal, but that doesn't change any of like the core doctrines that I would hold to, or that any Christian would hold to. I would say sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would say that the entire Bible is inspired in some way. It's not inspired in the exact same way though. So like some of it's true. It's all true. It's just true in different ways.
Okay. So and so you would say that you share the word of God, you minister to people. Do you do that in your practice?
No, I'm an attorney. I don't. Are you saying like my actual vocation or?
No, just in your relationship, just in your everyday life, friends, family, maybe a stranger here, there. Like, do you share the gospel? Do you know?
Oh yeah, I would. I do.
Okay. And I assume that you are familiar with the scriptures that says, study and show thyself approved.
Yes, I think so. Where is it?
So and I don't want to go too deep into I can't pull it from memory right now, but that is the exact quote and text. The Bible says to study and show thyself approved, because there will be different religions and faiths, and people will challenge your faith and things like that. Trust. I don't know if you can bring that up later or now, but
yeah, I can bring it up.
Basically what I'm saying is,
I can find it.
G. Hardy, you're a believer and I'm not. And the Bible says, study and show thyself approved. It says, go out into the highways and byways and minister and share the good news. Right here in this instance where, the question is being asked, why is God just, or what makes God just? As a believer, how would you minister in this moment to lost souls?
I don't know.
Well, that would be because the opportunities.
Sorry. Okay, never mind.
Well, so the point I'm getting to is that the opportunities of how you will have the opportunities to minister or to share the gospel or to save lost souls. We don't know how those things will come about. Maybe one day somebody will create an app where people all across the world can jump on and talk about different subjects, and you can go live and join conversations, and maybe they'll call it TikTok, and you'll join a live where there are a bunch of unbelievers whose souls are on their way to hell. My question to you is, in this moment, as a believer, and you have a room full of unbelievers saying, hey, we don't believe in God and God is not just, how would you minister to these people?
So I think one of the problems would be that there's not a different claim going on. There's not a claim of like the host is not making the claim of God is not just, which maybe I should have predicted that because I wasn't. I feel like sometimes there's different purposes for having a conversation. I was going to go to the heart of the matter of challenging the presuppositions that are built into the live.
Well, there are no presuppositions, right? Because I already said I concede. Yeah. So we have no grounding. So but you still have to demonstrate that God is just, right?
So right.
I think that's, and if Dr. Elijah, I think that's kind of the heart of your question is how would you minister to us?
That is.
Yeah.
We're here. Our souls are on the way to hell.
We have no grounding. Moment. Yeah. We're lost souls. We have no grounding. Yeah. So how would you show us that this is just killing 70,000 people? So I'm gonna just kind of add a little bit in here for just a second. Because I just want to make sure that we got this, what your assertion is. So I got this, God's nature is just. I think that's what you said. Whatever God does is just. God killed 70,000 people for David's disobedience. So therefore killing 70,000 was just. Does that sound, is there anything that you disagree with there?
Yes.
Which one do you disagree with?
The fourth one.
The fourth one?
Yeah.
Okay. So killing 70,000 was not just?
When he did it was just.
Okay, I think you said that's the microwave.
But just saying killing 70,000 people was just.
Do you want me to clean that up and just say I'll just say God killing 70,000 was just?
If you want to,
right
you
here.
can.
Yeah. Does that sound right? That look okay? So now, sorry. Does that look good now?
Actually, if you wanted to make it better, like God sending pestilence because of David's disobedience, which resulted in killing 70,000, was just. That would be like the.
Well, the pestilence killed the 70,000 people, right?
Right.
And God sent
that.
Right, but that's not
which means that God killed 70,000 people.
Right, but it's not a necessary cause, though.
Well, it's kind of like saying. Well, it's kind of like saying. I remember watching this movie with Tom Cruise, and he was like an assassin, and Jamie Foxx was like his taxi driver. I can't remember the name of the movie, but he was waiting outside, and then this body just falls down on the sidewalk, from a building, and he was like, "You just killed that guy," and Tom Cruise was like, "I didn't kill him. The bullets in the fall did." That's kind of what you're saying. I mean,
collateral.
if God's collateral, thank you. But if God sent the pestilence and the pestilence killed 70,000 people, that's tantamount to you saying, no, God didn't kill him. The bullets in the fall did.
Not really, because I mean, it kind of goes back to what Johnny was saying. We live in like a fallen world where we're disassociated from God, and you have disease that kills people. And you have people that make bad decisions, and this is what I would claim is like in none of those 70,000 were innocent people.
Yeah, we're not talking about the innocent people. We're just talking about the killing of 70,000 people for David's disobedience, because that's what this is about, right? So it's irrelevant to whether or not they were innocent or guilty. It's the question is God killed 70,000 people for David's disobedience. Because now, had God not sent the pestilence, would 70,000 people have died in 3 days?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
No. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry. They wouldn't have died if he wouldn't have done it.
So we can say that God killed the 70,000 people.
I
mean, it's kind of a weird hill to die on.
No, it is a weird hill to die on, but it's not, only because I'm thinking of it as it's not a necessary cause.
It's not a necessary cause. Well,
right. So
how is it not a necessary cause if they wouldn't have died but for the pestilence that God sent?
Because the pestilence was a disease, and it could have killed 75,000. It could have killed 65,000.
Sure.
It's obviously not a necessary cause, but
okay, but it was the direct reason they died, though. So really, necessary cause isn't really relevant. It's just the fact that God sent a pestilence. 70,000 died because of the pestilence that God sent.
I would say that 70,000 people died because of sin.
Okay,
but that's not what it says.
That's not what it says.
Right, but without you could do the same thing with this, but for sin, 70,000 people.
Okay, but that's back to the collateral example. The bullets in the fall killed him. Not I didn't kill him. The bullets in the fall did.
No, it's prior to the pestilence, though.
Okay.
So like if somebody comes up to you and points a gun at you, and then you point the gun at them and shoot them, and then they fall, they actually died because they pointed the gun at you. See what I'm saying? You could just do the same thing. It's a
yeah, but they are the cause of it. right?
No, the person that died would be the cause of them dying.
The person
but the
Do you not know
70,000. But the
wow. Are you a defense
70,000
attorney,
people
by the
didn't.
way? Criminal defense attorney?
No, not criminal, but
Okay.
so
'Cause-
this I'll walk it through. So the Tom Cruise movie, I don't know exactly what you're referencing, but I'll set up the same exact situation on a balcony, right? The guy that ends up falling, he points a gun at the person that shoots him, points the gun first as he's about to get, and then Tom Cruise, in response, he's quicker on the draw, so he shoots him first prior to the other person shooting at him, and then he falls. And it's a
I see
not
what
a
you're
necessary
saying.
cause.
I can tell you that's not what happened. In the movie,
Right.
Tom Cruise literally shot the guys and they fell out of a window and then fell to the ground. So
Right.
yeah,
But
so it was,
I'm just
or he might have
demonstrating
kicked
using
him
your
out of the window
analogy.
or something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean
Right.
he was the direct cause of them dying, and he's trying. And then what he said was, "I didn't kill him. The bullets and the fall did."
It's like your little brother saying, "Oh no, I didn't hit him in the face. He ran into my fist."
Yeah, he ran into my fist 20 times.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't have hit my little brother in the fist if he wouldn't have hit me first.
If he wouldn't have hit me first, okay.
Right. You know
But
what I'm saying?
but I think the point is, you hit him,
Well, if that, yeah,
right?
Right. But he
Okay.
wouldn't have been hit if he wouldn't have hit me. So
Okay.
like in this instance, the people wouldn't have died if they wouldn't have sinned.
Okay.
but the
I think we're kind of getting
Bible
away.
doesn't say anything about that though.
Yeah.
So the Bible says because of David, and you're saying no, it was because they sinned. There was a reason.
No. I'm not talking about within the biblical context. I'm talking about metaphysically, humans die from disease because of the fall of humans.
Okay. But the bottom line is, did God know when he said, "Or shall there be 3 days of pestilence in your land"? Did God know at the time that this would kill people?
Yes.
Right, he did.
Yes.
So God sent this pestilence knowing it would kill people. So
Yes.
okay. And
that's no evidence of his injustice, just as much as
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is
Exactly.
he knew that was going to happen. Okay.
Right.
So but it's just that this whole God didn't kill 70,000 people. It just isn't holding water for me. I'm just not buying this. I may not have grounding in morality and authority, but I mean, I do have a thinking brain, and that doesn't land for me.
Right. I understand what you're
it's just
saying
not
in
land.
terms of like it's just it's a proximate cause. It's not it's just not necessary. It's maybe you're not like into like the heavy like logic.
I don't
You're
know.
doing
Jury,
like a biblical.
all I know is jury wouldn't buy it. That's all I know.
G Hardy, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If okay, let's say you have a son, and your son is sitting in a classroom, just doing his schoolwork, and the kid next to him is clowning around, goofing around, talking this and that, XYZ, and the teacher says, "Hey, you keep on clowning around, I'm going to punish you." And the kid keeps on clowning around, but not only does she punish that kid, like you got after school detention and you got to write a 100-page essay, and I'm going to suspend you for 3 days. Just throws the elementary book at him,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "You know what? You two," talking about your son sitting next to him, and your son comes home and says, hey Dad, I got in trouble today. I've been suspended for 3 days. I got detention. I got to do this report. And you say, well, son, what did you do? And your son says, well, I didn't do anything. It was actually the kid next to me, and the teacher punished him, and she punished me because of what he was doing. How would you defend your son, or would you say, well, you must have done something?
I mean, I think I missed the very, very first part of what you were saying, but I would defend the son because he was like guilty by association is pretty much what you're saying.
And he wasn't even associated. He was in
just
the
minding his own
classroom, so
business, right?
you're just minding his own business, and hey, he got punished too.
Yeah, that would be no good.
Okay, so that's the same thing we're reading here in the scripture.
Yes, but what I'm saying is I think there's a difference in magnitude when you're talking about a human individual in a fallen world and then God on a macro universal level.
So in that moment, what you're saying is God can we can't look at God's wrong as wrong because it's coming from God. But if that same wrong comes from human, then we can look at it as wrong.
No, I'm saying justness can be displayed in different ways.
I hear you, but you said you would defend.
Keep going.
And you've already the host has already conceded that there's no evidence against his justness.
Yeah, the host conceded for you to make a point that you didn't make.
Okay, then how about this, right? We would both agree that being just it's hard to define it, but it's whatever, it's giving someone or something what they're justly due, right? What they're owed.
Okay, so were the 70,000 people owed that?
No, I want to make the argument real quick, and then you can come back to this if you want. Would we agree on that definition, though? Giving
people getting what they deserve. Yeah, people getting what they deserve.
For sure.
So I think that every person in the world deserves death and eternal damnation because of the fall.
Calvinist. I called it. I knew it.
And because no, actually, I'm not a Calvinist, but and because
you should be. That's what Calvinist is.
Can you ask the microwave question?
Okay. Go ahead and finish, G. Hardy, and I got one more question for you before we go.
Okay, and then after that, because God's grace abounds, He gives us an opportunity to come into fruitful and eternal relation with Him, and I think that's what justice is displayed as in the historical biblical context.
All right. One more question for you, and then we got to move on. G. Hardy, if God commanded you to take a baseball bat to the local elementary school and whack every kid you see on the back of the head, would they deserve it?
No, I just reject the premise because it would contradict God's nature.
It would contradict God's nature? And
yes.
So, but God told you, God said to you, I'm doing this for a just reason. These kids deserve it.
I would think it would be a demon that was talking to me.
You'd think it'd be a demon. All right.
Yeah.
And how would you discern that?
Because it's in contrary to what we know about God's nature.
Has God never asked someone to kill someone?
Yeah.
Huh?
Has God never asked someone to kill someone?
Yes, and we kind of displayed it with the 70,000 thing. I just believe that when he did it, it was just, and you guys haven't really told me how it's not.
Well, yeah, but we're trying to still figure out why it's just from you, and but we don't need to tell you that it's not just. You need to tell us why it's just.
And I just did.
We have because God is just. Okay. Well, hey, G. Hardy.
No, and because everybody deserves death.
And everybody deserves it. Okay, G. Hardy, I appreciate you coming up. Thanks for your time. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
All right.
And these people are walking around freely in the world.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Okay.
Scary. That was pretty scary. So everybody deserves death. All right.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm actually not a Calvinist. Well, actually, yeah, you are.
and more so, whether it was you or your neighbor that did it. So
yeah,
that doesn't matter if you didn't even do anything.
Yeah. I tried to switch it up to, maybe I should have done that. Kill the kids in the elementary school, not bash them over the head with a baseball bat. Maybe that would have.
No, it's the thing for a lot of people, unfortunately, psychological reasons, and it is unfortunately how many people do not. I don't want to be rude. Very simply, how many people do not believe in themselves? So it's easier to believe in something that you can't see and can't prove but you have to have faith in it rather than invest the same type of time and energy to being an amazing and healthy human.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I had a guest on yesterday. I don't know if you watched it. I clipped this, by the way. It was a woman that I went over 2 Samuel, the wives, and Bathsheba, that whole thing. You know, it's one of my favorite go-tos, right?
Yeah.
And she sat, and so we went over the 5-finger acronym for consent, FRIES, right? And for those of you who don't know, who didn't see it, it is freely given, revocable, informed, enthusiastic, and specific. Yeah, this was rough, and I'm sorry. I may re-trigger some people to bring up that memory, but it's kind of for the benefit of Dr. E here. But what she said to me, I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but what she said to me was, because first she said, you know, the Bible is 100% true, and so it was like on a moral basis. And I said, okay, well, why would God essentially, you know, allow and command rape? And she said, God doesn't do that. And so we went over the 5-finger test for consent, FRIES, and I showed her the passage, and she said, well, it doesn't say that they didn't give consent, so we don't know. It was scary. We don't know. And then I personalized it because I said, so if God commanded to give you to your neighbor and your neighbor lay with you, have you given consent? And she said, maybe. It was
Jesus Christ.
It was wild. Yes, exactly. It was wild. It was so wild. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It was wild.
Anything to not, and being wrong can actually, it can help you. Like being wrong can help you. I remember it was well, I'll save it. I don't know if you got some other guests, but I'm just being gentle now. I'm just being gentle because
we can bring back another one. Yeah, we can bring up another one. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and finish what you're saying.
1 Corinthians 13 and 5. You got that on hand?
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, hold on, Henry. Dr. Elijah is going to finish this point. But yeah, go ahead. I can bring it up.
Yeah. So I would rather, for First Corinthians 13 and 5. I would want people to see it.
Okay.
And it is
Is
you
it
know,
okay? Yeah, let me bring it
of
up
course,
you know.
Let's see.
Did I get it right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I think I got it in the middle of a sentence. Let me bring in 4, just so we get like the whole thing here. Yeah.
4, 5, 4, 5, 6.
4 to 6. Okay. Here.
Let's I'm big on context.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, this part. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how. So, and I mean, it's right there in writing. In writing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist in its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of wrongs, and it does not rejoice in wrongdoing. But rejoices in truth. Now, there were times, many times, where God was not patient, and where He was not kind.
Yeah.
And there are times where He says, "I am a jealous God," so He's envious. And thou shalt have no other God before me. That's boastful and arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either believe me or you can go to hell. Well, that's insisting your own way. And why would I go to hell anyway? Because you kept a record of my wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, and Deuteronomy 28:63. I shall take delight in your eternal into your destruction. Yeah.
Ruin
and destruction. That's rejoicing in wrongdoing.
Again, love is patient, kind, not jealous, boastful, envious, this and that, doesn't keep any record of wrong, this and that. So why in the hell would I ever go to hell if you don't keep records of my wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe that's just for us and not you.
Yeah. Thanks for waiting, Henry. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right.
I'm doing good.
All right. Just to verify, you're over 18?
58.
Okay. And then which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
It has to be them, or I can just believe in God.
It does have to be them. Yeah, that's who I want to talk to today.
Okay, I'm Christian.
Okay. What's your best evidence that God is just?
Well, I'm going to claim something, and then we'll move from there, right?
You're going to claim something?
Yeah, I'm going to claim it, and then we move from there. So I have a stand on whatever I'm going to talk about. Is that good?
Yeah.
So it's precisely that injustice happened because of God. Because of God gave us free will. So without God, there is no way of thinking about injustice. So that's my claim.
Okay, so without God, there's no way you can think of injustice.
Yes, not justified. You can think about it, but it not just without justification. It will be just your feelings.
Okay. All right. Can you expand on that?
Yes. There's a story that happened in Yellowstone Park. So humans start moving inside Yellowstone, and then we don't like the wolves. So we extinguish the wolves because we don't like them. And then the deer and all the other animals start moving the rivers and destroying, and it was not in balance. It was not balanced, Yellowstone, and there was some kind of diseases and things like that. Now, we find out, so we put wolves back again, and then the rivers changed to the natural cause, and then balance was restored. Now, my question is, when we took the wolves out, was that just?
I think at the time it was, but it ended up not being because we can't see the future. So
so when we returned,
and so then it kind of pulls in. You know, are we basing justice on outcome? Which in a lot of ways we do, because there are things like, for example, the war on crime in the United States. It's kind of similar to what you're talking about. At the time, there was like a lot of laws that were passed in like the late 80s and early 90s to get quote unquote tough on crime. And what it ended up doing was it disproportionately affected communities of color, like Latinos, blacks, etc.
Can we extinguish this because I understand that? Can we just continue with my claim of the
I would say similar to that. At the time, it was thought to be a just thing to do, but then it disproportionately affected communities of color, and so it ended up being more harmful than it was. So I would say in your scenario is similar to that scenario, so I would say no, it ended up not being just. But at the time they thought it would be. Yeah.
Now we returned the wolves, and we saw how the rivers came back to their original site, and then the deer decreased in population, so it came to balance again. Now, was that just for the deer?
I would say, was it just for the deer? Is it something that they deserved? Yes. Because that's what the definition of just is, right?
I don't know. Can you tell me what's your definition of just?
It's basically people like beings getting what they deserve.
No, but your own. What is so people? Whatever happens is what you deserve. That's justice for you.
Yeah. So it's basically getting what you deserve. Yeah. So if you deserve
perfect.
So would you agree that deer deserve to like survive and flourish?
I believe that nature have their own ways, and when we intervene, since we don't know what we're doing, we break it, thinking that we're doing something good. But as a matter of fact,
that answers my question. I don't know if that answers my question. My question was, do deer deserve to survive and flourish?
Like without wolves or with wolves?
It doesn't matter, just in general. Do they deserve to survive and flourish? Like for example, should we just go and wipe out all the deer that we see?
No. I'm that's what you're having a question with a charge. Deer deserve to be alive.
I'm kind of doing a reductio because I'm trying to understand. You know, I'm trying to figure out. Trying to get you to answer the question. Really, you're not really answering.
So okay.
So it's got to be yes or no. Do they deserve to live?
Yes. Yes,
You do?
with the wolves. With the wolves.
With the wolves. But they deserve to live,
Yes.
right?
With the wolves.
Okay. With the
Yes.
wolves. Okay.
But is that just for the deer?
Well, if that's what they deserve, yeah. If they deserve to live, then yes.
But they're going to be killed by the wolves.
Okay.
Is
And
that
so-
justice? Is that good? Just respond to the question.
Well-
Is that just or no?
Is that just? Yeah, it is.
Okay, perfect. That I can accept that. Now you tell me that whatever happens in nature, it's just. We can claim that the wolves will do whatever they have to do with the deer, and so on, and we claim that to be just.
Okay.
So
Because
if you
would
said
say
if
that
you said-
because the deer deserve to live and the wolves deserve to live, right?
yeah, but among each other.
Among each other, yeah. Do they deserve to live?
Okay. So when you said that if
Well, hold on,
animals,
there's a question. Do wolves
Yeah.
deserve to live?
yes, absolutely.
Okay, there we go.
So my claim is this: because you were asking that if it's just the way that the wolves kill the deer, or something like that. You said that why God doesn't make the suffering disappear.
Yeah, this kind of isn't relevant to what I was saying. My point was it was about whether or not suffering is necessary or unnecessary.
It happens. The deer are
Right.
happier if they have the wolves around them.
Okay.
And since it happens, we cannot we cannot justify it being unjust or just, because it's what happens, it's what it is. And you and me, we accept that, right?
Okay, so if I'm hearing you right, we have no way to judge what is necessary or unnecessary suffering.
Well, yes, we cannot claim that. Now,
We can't claim that. Okay, and so
we can claim it. No, we can
Okay.
claim it if you believe in God. That's how I started.
we can only
because the
claim it
only
if you believe
thing-
in God. Okay.
If you don't have a God, or you don't believe in God,
Mhm.
then you cannot claim that something, the same way that we cannot judge the wolves and the deer, we cannot claim what's happening with humans, right?
Oh, okay. Well, this is kind of like a continuation of the previous guest. So I'm getting that sense, Dr. E. Are you? He's basically saying the same thing. Without
No.
believing in God, you have no way to understand if things are just or not. I think that's what you're trying
You
to
don't
say,
have
right, Henry?
stand, but or try to tell me what is your stand, not your feelings. Where do you stand to claim that something is just or unjust?
Okay.
please?
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to say, let's just take the assumption that Dr. Elijah and I both concede that we have no way to determine what is just and what is unjust. And so we're learning here. We're trying to understand from you. How do you
Yeah.
so that's what this question is about. What's your best evidence
That's
that God is
perfect.
just? Okay? So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the previous guest said that now he really wouldn't admit it, but he essentially said that God killing 70,000 people for David's disobedience was just because God is just. Would you agree with that?
I have another way of thinking about the Bible. So the Bible has, mythology. What mythology is?
Yeah.
Okay, mythology has some truth on it, right, or not?
Some truths, yeah. There's historical places like Mount Olympus and things of that sort. Yeah, sure.
Or
And
any
Greece.
other
Yeah.
mythology. Yes.
Mhm.
So that mythology has some histories that represents different things like traditions
Okay.
or discoverings and things like that. And the way
Okay.
that I see the Bible, the way that I see the Bible is that it's not like we have the information and we can read. So the myths and the mythology that is in the Bible contains truth that were at that point, and they have to explain to people that are pretty ignorant, or at least more than us, because we know how to read, and they didn't know how to read. So the claim that we do on the Bible, like good and bad, or judging from our perspective, obviously we can see that is wrong. But it was meant for those people at those times to preserve their own traditions. Do you see the point?
Okay. We see.
So
Yeah, I see the point.
we cannot justify 70,000 people die. Well, it is what it is. I don't know if it happens, but I don't know what I have to go and understand the story to understand why they're trying to tell me, the rabbis or the priests or whatever.
Okay, I got you. So let me ask you this, Henry. Did God create a world in which there are earthquakes, natural disasters like typhoons, tsunami, things of that sort?
It's the same as the wolf and the deer.
Okay, so it's the same world. So God created this world, and does God have the power to stop any of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and are any of those things happening in? Is there an afterlife, and if so, like a heaven? And are any of those disasters happening in heaven?
No, in heaven doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. Okay, why not?
We don't have the contrast. It is not bipolar like here. It's
not
just
bipolar?
monopolar. Yeah, we have, the discussions that we have right now is because we have different thoughts, right? Different feelings and different way of explaining. Like we differ in some points. I don't think that we differ in many, but we can differ in stuff, and that is bipolar. You believe something, I believe something, and we have subjective observation of things that, and we judge. Yeah, we judge based on our own personal subjective reality.
And
we don't have that in heaven.
Okay, and how are we judging it in heaven then? So like, how are we perceiving things in heaven?
There is in the best my ability, because it's hard to understand or explain it. Okay, but there's all positive. Everything that you're suffering here, plus all the knowledge of why things happen. So you have full knowledge, all just monopolar, all just monopolar.
Okay, everything's just. Okay, and do animals go to heaven?
I believe so. I really
believe so? Okay.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that.
Okay, and so you want to believe that. So then it sounds like their suffering then is it determined, is there like a heaven and a hell for animals, or did they just all go to heaven?
I believe that we all go to heaven.
Oh, we all do. Okay, gotcha. Okay. And so then what is the point of this existence?
The contrast, because if we are in heaven, if we don't know but good and positive and monopolar, then we don't have a way of differing how good it is. The fact that we fall and we have these discussions and all these things that happen to us, it is not that. So when we go back, we know exactly what it is, because now we can recognize it. Like you cannot recognize something unless you're away from your own perspective.
Well,
so when we go back, we know that.
Okay. Well, then, because then, all right. I think I got lost here, and
tell me.
So where I'm struggling is because what you're basically saying is we need to know the difference between good and bad, like good and evil, suffering and flourishing and all that stuff.
Yeah, and in contrast to all good.
Yeah. In contrast to all good. But when we all go to heaven, because you said all of us go to heaven.
By choice.
By
choice.
Okay,
by choice.
But there's only good things there. So there's no bad things at all.
Yeah, but you have to agree.
Okay.
And just expand a little bit. If you choose not to, since we have free will, you can choose not to, and you're free to do that. You actually are free to say, well, I don't want to go to heaven, and you will not go to heaven. Like it's your choice, because we're free. We have free will now.
Do we have free will in heaven?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
It's not possible. It's not possible.
It's not possible. So we don't have free will in heaven. We have free will here.
Yes.
Okay. This is like adding up less and less for me. We don't have free will in heaven. We have free will here. We have good and evil here. We only have good in heaven. But that's only if you choose to go to heaven. But once you choose to go to heaven, God removes your free will?
Well, you will be happy, I promise you. If you believe, if you believe that everything is going to be positive, and you're going to be fulfilled, and you're going to have full knowledge, actually full knowledge. Okay, what I don't know if it's good or bad, but full knowledge of why things happen, and then bad will disappear, and then
Henry? What if I was a masochist? which means that I take pleasure in suffering. Would I suffer in heaven?
No, in heaven you don't. Despite what you do here, if you want to go to heaven, you will. That's why Jesus.
Right. So let's just say I choose to go to heaven, but I'm a masochist. But you said there's no suffering in heaven, so then that would actually be torture for me. I wouldn't be happy in heaven. I would be suffering.
I guess then don't choose it. If you believe that, don't choose it.
Right.
But it's your choice. It is your choice.
Well, but that's the thing is but if that's what gives me pleasure and I want to suffer, I should be able to suffer in heaven, right? But I don't have free will.
Well, you don't have free will in heaven. You have free will now. And if you want to suffer, well, suffer. God is not going to prevent you to suffer.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. You choose to go. And if you don't want to go, if you believe you're a masochist and everything is going to be so good, I don't think that you will choose to go to heaven. That will not be for you.
It wouldn't be for me.
You're a
Okay.
masochist. Well, if you choose, it's a choice.
Okay. But why wouldn't God just allow me to suffer in heaven? If that's what gives me, like, if that's what's going to make me happy, because you said you'll be happy in heaven. So why wouldn't because here's the other thing, like, because masochists don't want to be around people who are like miserable. They take delight in their own suffering, their internal suffering, right? But they don't want to see other people suffering. They just want to experience their own suffering.
It can be a saddic, right? Instead, you can do a saddic. All these values that you are putting, you are on this side. On the other side, there's no values like that. You identifying suffering or a saddic, seeing people suffering as something that could happen there. It doesn't happen like that. It is just what it is.
Right, but what I'm saying though, I think you're missing what I'm saying. And Dr. Elijah, jump in because I think, are you picking down what I'm putting up or putting down?
I definitely am, and I'm excited. I want you to land it.
You want me? I'm going to try and land it. I don't know if I can, so I may have you take the wheel on this one. But here, I'll try one more time. Sure. Okay, I'll try one more time because maybe the PhD therapist can kind of land this for me. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say, Henry, is that like masochists don't like if they see other people suffering, that's like awful for them. But if they experience the suffering, if they take the punishment, they experience the suffering, they derive like pleasure from that. It is wonderful for them. And
it's not about pleasure. Heaven is not about pleasure.
Right, but it's wonderful. It makes them happy. It makes them happy.
It's not about happiness also.
Well, you just said you'll be happy. You just said you'd be happy in heaven.
You will be sorry about that. I used the wrong word. You will be content. You will be in awe.
It would make them content. But that's what I'm trying to explain.
If you are in heaven, if you're trying to put in, you said that I said that it was going to be monopolar. Okay, heaven.
Right.
It's monopolar. You cannot disagree. It's so strong the love that you cannot disagree. You will be happy just because you are there.
Okay,
because you choose to be there.
Okay, so
and our evidence for that?
Yeah, what's our evidence of that?
Well, it's what the Bible says.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that's what the Bible says.
Yeah. Well, I have experience, but I don't have proof of that.
Okay.
So I cannot claim to know. Well, I know, but you say what's your evidence of that? I have no evidence, material evidence to show you, but you cannot prove me what love is. Can you prove what love is or trust?
Well, yeah, there's definitely tangible, measurable evidence for what love and trust is in many different
all emotions.
In many different forms of relationships, emotions, communication. I mean, it's there. Like there's tangible. There's tangible, measurable evidence on how my wife loves me and how I love my kids. There's tangible, measurable evidence of how your job or your workplace
is
may
that subjective or objective?
No. So in this case, tangible. That's why I use these very words here. Tangible, measurable evidence, so that it's not subjective.
Is that good for me?
Hold on, I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
So the same question to you, you're saying, well, I can't, which falls more into the line of faith and belief. It almost kind of like a...
No, I don't want to do that. I said just for the sake of a conversation that I have experienced. But if you ask me to prove it, I don't know how to prove it, so you can dismiss my claim.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Can I jump in real quick? I'm sorry. I just want to just.
Can you jump in? Is funny.
Well, I just want to address. Thank you. I appreciate that, but I just want to address because you asked if we could prove like emotions, right? Like
no, that love exists.
Well, love is an emotion,
and it's good
right?
for everybody.
Love is an emotion, right? Yeah, love and trust and empathy and all these emotions, all right? So here's an article from or it's a study called Understanding Emotions, Origins and Roles of the Amygdala. And it's by Simic et al. So all of these researchers, and this was in 2021. Dr. E, you might be familiar with this, but essentially what they were able to pinpoint is that these emotions come from the amygdala. And they were able to do this several ways. So if you want, you can go read this study and it'll tell you. So they were able to measure. Yeah, they were able to measure it. They were able to pinpoint it, to identify different emotions. So they could tell that they could distinguish the differences between emotions. So we have very, very strong evidence right here of where emotions come from.
That's not evidence.
You're saying a scientific study is not evidence? Why not?
That is not evidence. Evidence, okay. The fact that you can describe something, wait a second. The fact that you can describe something or measure a reaction of an action. Because if let's say that, I'm going to put you an example. Let's say that you're sitting down at the beach, okay? And then there's a sunset that is beautiful and it puts you in, I don't know if you have experienced that, but the like, wow, this is amazing.
It's awe.
Okay?
Yeah, it's an emotion. It's called
exactly.
awe.
So, exactly. So exactly. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Okay.
I don't know why you're laughing, but it's okay. When you're sitting down and you feel the awe, and the awe is not the awe that you're feeling. It is not what you describe the awe. The awe is beyond or prior of your reaction.
Oh, okay.
So when
I think you might be saying like A-H-H, like
no. The awe is the same thing.
We're saying
or you say the word
A-W-E.
A-W-E, awe.
Yeah, okay. When you experience that, if you can stop the judgment on that it will be what it is. And then when we try to describe it or put measurements on how good was the red or how high was the sun or how the wind was hitting in my face, that is a reaction. Those studies that you're showing me are measuring reactions of an action. Now, of course, they're true.
How do you know that? Have you read the study?
From what I know, but I don't read this story, but I know this.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on. So when it comes to tangible, measurable evidence, scientific studies and facts that are laid in front of you and proven to you, you can say no, you disagree. But what you're not allowed to do is say, trust me, I know, and move on without proving a point like they prove their point.
You're right.
That wouldn't be fair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's say that you're hearing something, okay? You're hearing a noise, okay? The noise started somewhere, and then it hits your ear, okay? And then your ear processed through your brain whatever the sound was, okay? Now, before I can call it, I don't know the word exactly, I'm going to use, maybe I'm wrong with this word, okay? Before the manifestation of our judgment or our belief, or it goes through our feelings, our brain, that we can measure it, where it resonates, the noise came before we process it. Now, of course, we can measure where you process love and all these things, but those things doesn't mean that it is what it is. It is the process in your brain that allows you to enjoy it as a human.
Okay. Then what it? Okay. So then, where is it coming from, and what is your evidence of where emotions come from?
Well, Henry, you would have unfortunately, you just saw the jellyfish, but
okay. You got to go, Henry. So appreciate you coming up.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. So the contradiction there, well, he did it, Well, he said, well, no, it's subjective. But then we were provided evidence and facts. You made it subjective.
Then he made it subjective, and he just said, well,
and
that's
it's like,
wrong.
well,
he just dismissed
yeah.
it.
So again, and you take from your Father in heaven. You can do things that other people can't do.
Yeah. So for anyone's interested in the study, this is one that I cite quite often, but this is
and you can definitely measure them.
Yep, definitely measure them. We've been able to do that for a long time.
Very long time.
But yeah, very long time. But this is like direct correlation, strong correlation to the amygdala. So
yeah,
just saying. I mean, and I guarantee you this beats, well, it comes from God because I have faith. It's essentially
just trust me, bro.
Just trust me. Bro. Yeah. It's not this, but it's what I believe. Trust me. Yeah. That's kind of where we went with that. All right. Well, that was interesting. So 2 in a row, people saying we have no way to know what justice is. And it's almost like, Doctor, that they're trying to like saying you don't have a right to ask. Because I mean that's kind of
So that's what it is, and that is why in the world of clinical psychology, these things have languages, they have modalities, they have applications. You know what you know what a Debbie Downer sounds like. You know what a what a killjoy sounds like. You know what a person who what an anxious person sounds like.
Yeah.
And in this world, you know what abusive language sounds like. You know what weaponized incompetence sounds like. It has a language. It has a framework. It moves the goalposts. It doesn't take accountability. It does these things, and that is the nature of this God that you believe in this Bible. And this is why I ask people all the time: do you know the type of relationship that you're in? Like, do you know? Can you properly define an abusive relationship, like a trauma bond, for instance? And many people still to this day think that a trauma bond is having trauma in common, and it is not. So you grew up without a dad. Oh, I grew up without a dad too. Well, yeah, me and Johnny, we trauma bonded over not having dads. That's not a trauma bond. That's having trauma in common. There's an actual definition for a trauma bond.
Big difference.
And if you knew what a trauma bond is, you would be able to properly define this relationship with God that you have.
Yeah, gotcha. Corey, how you doing?
What's good?
Hey, it's all good, man. Thanks for waiting. Just for TikTok purposes, how old are you?
I'm 41.
All right. And this is my friend Dr. Elijah. So thanks for joining us. And which God do you believe in, Corey? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
The creator of heaven and earth.
Which God is that?
I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
You're Christian.
So go
okay.
figure.
All right. What's your best evidence that this God is just?
So you are claiming he's real. You're just saying he's unjust.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing as like have you seen?
At least you acknowledging his existence.
Have you seen Batman and the Joker?
Nah, don't try to be sarcastic now.
I ain't doing sarcastic. Let's answer my question, right? Have you seen Batman and the Joker? I'm just trying to draw an analogy for you so you understand where we're coming from. You have not? You've never seen Batman and the Joker. You don't know who they are. Never?
I serve the creator of the heaven and earth. I'm filled with the Holy Spirit in the name of Jesus Christ.
Okay, so you don't know
so are you admitting that my God exists?
You don't know about, wow, he's crashing out like 30 seconds in, man. We haven't even
Let's
said
talk
anything.
about it.
All right. So what you're telling me then is that you don't know any fictional characters at all, ever in history.
No, sir. I'm talking about the creator of heaven and earth right now.
Okay. So you're not aware of any fiction. You've never read any other books?
I'm an author. I create my own fictional characters. Have you ever heard of Thumbhead the Rat Man?
Thumbhead the Rat Man, no.
Yeah, that's a book that I'm writing of fictional characters. Exactly.
Okay.
So
is there an antagonist in that?
I'm an author. I'm an author, so I write fictional stories myself. But we're talking about the creator. We're talking about the creator of heaven and earth.
Do you have an inspiration for your fictional stories? Like, do you model yourself after another fictional author or anything?
Yes, I got a book called "Believing Like a Christian, Living Like an Atheist." That's the name of my next book.
All right. Wow. Love to. Okay, so here's the thing. You know, we do have this question up here on above my head, right? You saw it, and you've been waiting a while, so you've been watching me for a while, right?
Exactly. So
Okay.
I know how you coming.
Are
exactly.
you aware of what like social contracts are, Corey?
No, sir. Educate me. Enlighten me.
So a social contract is basically like an implicit agreement, right? So like, for example, like if you go into an elevator, you don't fart in the elevator when people are in there, right? That would be like a social contract, right? Okay. And it's just because you don't want that to happen to you. Like you're in the elevator and somebody comes in and then farts in the elevator. You don't want to be stuck with that. So, you know, most people don't walk into an elevator and fart in the elevator. It's kind of the same thing. It's like when you come into a live and you see a question above the host's head, the understanding is that you're going to answer the question when you come up here. So that's what a social contract is. Like you implicitly agree to answer the question because that's why you came up here. So what is your answer to the question?
He's just because he's sovereign. I'm just glad that you admit his existence. It's a lot of things that make him just.
Okay, he's just because he's sovereign. And what does that mean?
He do what he want to do.
He does whatever he wants.
He does whatever he wants.
Okay, and that makes him just.
Microwave question
Yeah.
immediately.
Okay.
I will give 10 jellyfish in this moment. People give me gifts all the time and I don't use them for anything. Microwave question.
All right. So let me ask you the question, the microwave question. So Corey, if God commanded you to do something, is that a just command? I'm almost there. Dr. E.
It depends on what it was.
Depends on what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
But you said God is sovereign and anything he does, and he does whatever he wants. So that means everybody is, so everything that God does is just, right?
His ways and thoughts and our ways and thoughts. I have the free will to disobey him if I wanted to.
Fantastic. Okay. So if God commanded you to go to the local orphanage and round up all the babies and microwave them all, would that be a just command?
I don't know what it'd be to him, but I wouldn't do it. I would be disobedient. I got the right to be disobedient. I don't have to. I don't have to obey him.
Would you go to hell or heaven if you disobeyed that command?
It's up to him. I don't know how he's going to judge.
Yeah. And isn't sin disobedience to God?
I don't know how he's going to judge. He might acknowledge that I had the balls to disobey him at Judgment Day. You don't know what he's going to do.
Right. Well, that's not my question. My question was, isn't sin disobeying God? It's missing the mark, right?
According to what? According to the Bible?
Yeah, according to the Bible.
Or you do read the Bible and you do believe in the Bible.
Okay. Well, let's not pivot. Corey, let's answer the question. Yeah.
According to the Bible, yeah, hell. Okay, I'll go to hell for disobeying him. Yeah.
Okay.
But even in hell, he can find me.
Okay. So you would risk going to hell to disobey God?
Yes, I would.
Even though,
but
you said in hell you could find him?
It don't mean he didn't exist. It just mean I was disobedient.
Yeah, we're not talking about whether or not he exists. We're talking about whether or not he's just.
Fairy tale character is where y'all are being disrespectful.
All right, let's not pivot. We're talking about whether or not God is just. We're granting for the sake of argument this God exists. So I don't know why you keep trying to fight us on whether or not he exists. We've granted that to you.
Because that's what the other guest was trying to tell you. If you were atheist, why is you worrying about somebody who you feel like is a fictional character?
Again, Corey.
Really quick, Corey.
You got to stay on top, stay on point.
So here's the thing, Corey.
And yes, he's just for sending me to hell for disobeying him. He's just.
Okay, and it was his command to you just?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So his command to you to microwave babies is just.
If it's according to him, yeah. But I disobeyed him.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up. All right.
Yeah, you can't do it. And when there's no sound logic, and it's kind of like I grew up playing when kids actually played outside.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up playing basketball, a lot of basketball, and it would be, or actually a better analogy. You ever like joking around with people or having an argument with people, and instead of having the argument, they start to talk about you personally?
Mm-hmm.
because you've run out of substance. You're grasping now. You don't have anything. Or growing up playing sports, like you're so mad that I'm performing better than you. Rather than beat me, now you just want to fight me. So when I'm an atheist, what's your best advice? That God is just. Well, God does whatever He wants to do. Whoa. So and the unfortunate part about that is that you would rather personally fight me than minister to me and save my soul. So you're not even in this to save souls. You're in this for your selfish reasons.
Yeah,
not
Chad,
if that's all I'm saying.
This is deep.
That's all I'm saying. And this is the thing I break down to people. You would rather fight me than minister and save the soul, like the Lord your God commanded you to go out into the highways and the byways, to put the salt amongst light, to do these things. You would rather fight me than save a soul.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, that's
what's
a
going on
great
here?
point. That's a great point. Yeah,
and like I said, I'm trying to respect your platform, but like when I tell you there's some in the chamber, it's like I'm. This is not my platform. You are a friend.
That is so smart. I mean, yeah, it is. That is so. Yeah, man. Really
minister to me, save my soul.
Yeah.
I'm going to hell.
I'm going to hell.
I'm going to hell. Save my soul. But you would rather take the same stance that your God, who you call a he. First of all, how a God has human nature is beyond me. A God that gets jealous, beyond me. Like it's beyond me. So instead of arguing, you think everybody that Jesus spoke to agreed with him and was nice to him?
Yeah.
No. At the end of the day, you have a job to do. If a racist person comes into your hospital and you're a black doctor, you still have to save them. If you see what I mean? If there's a Democrat if there's a Democrat in a house fire and you're a Republican and you're a firefighter, you still got to save them.
Still got to save them.
And people are not doing that. I would rather fight than do the thing that I say I believe in.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when you have a chance. Because that's the other thing.
This is your entire job.
Yes, I'm a non-resistant non-believer. According to 1 Peter 3, verse 15, I am like the mark. I am the coveted prize. Like I am the one that you should be coming up to like,
But it becomes difficult because many of them cannot go past because the Bible said so, because God said so.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got to believe this and that. Like, have you ever tried to change a baby's diaper? They don't want to be changed. Have you ever tried to get the dog to come back in the house? They want to stay outside. That is why you are the leader. That's why you're the owner. Do your job.
Yeah, exactly. How's it going, KC?
It's not bad. How are you all doing?
Doing well. Thanks for waiting. For TikTok purposes, how old are you?
27.
All right. And which God do you believe in?
Christian, God of the Bible.
Okay. All right. What's your best evidence that this God is just?
Try just using. Well, thank you for accepting me. First of all, say that. So, I'm going to try a logical exercise. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to overcomplexify it or anything like that, just for sake of time. Imagine I create a video game, and I set the game up. I code it, build it from the ground up. I determine the laws, the rules, the parameters that define and this universe that you're going to be playing consists of. All right, and you, the player, get on, and I have as the first mission, you have to make 10 long jumps in a row, or a bus full of children will fly off a cliff. Morbid scenario. All right. These are the rules and the parameters that I've set for you to play the game. I, the arbiter. If I have set for you to hit all 10 in a row and you fail on the third block, whatever, square you want to call it, and the bus full of children flies off, simply because these are the parameters that I've set for this universe, that would be the settling of conditions not met. And that would be just in said universe, within the parameters of this universe, this hypothetical universe we're talking about.
Okay.
So
could I
scaling
choose
that
not to
outwardly?
Okay. And in this analogy, I can choose not to play this game, right?
You can't. I would say you can't.
Oh, I can't choose to play this game. So I can't. I have to play. So I'm forced to play this game.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm forced to play this game, and I have to make these 10 jumps in a row. And if I don't make these 10 jumps in a row within these squares, school bus full of kids are going to go off a cliff and die.
That is correct.
That's what I'm hearing? Okay.
That is correct. Yes.
All right. And so you're saying that that's just? Like I'm not clear on how that's just. Think of it as I don't know what just is, or maybe I just read it out of the dictionary and I have no idea to ascertain what's just and what's isn't. Me and Dr. Elijah here. So
sure.
And so justice is basically people getting what they deserve. So do the school children deserve to go off a cliff and die?
That's not how I define. That's not necessarily how I define justice.
How do you define
I'd say that justice is the equitous settling of conditions amongst people most often. That's what I would say.
Why should we accept your definition and not the dictionary definition?
So I don't believe that what you gave me was the dictionary definition.
Justice is just behavior or treatment, and the definition of just is that which lines up with what is morally right. And would you say that people getting what they deserve is morally right?
Could you show me the definition real quick, please?
Yeah. Sure. Just behavior or treatment. And then if we look up just, so that's justice.
For sure.
And if we look up just, based on or behaving according to what is morally right and fair.
Yeah, I'd say I would. Yeah. So in that case, I'd say that whatever the outcome, whatever the rules and parameters are of this universe, you cannot, whatever your opinion is, you cannot falsify the principles and morals of this hypothetical universe.
Okay. So is people getting what they deserve justice?
I think it's a form of justice. I don't think it's a definition of justice.
It's a form of justice. Okay. So
I'd say it's an example of justice.
Okay. So in your analogy, do the
There's
kids...
a jellyfish.
Oh, jellyfish? Okay. Well,
all
right. Casey, yep, sorry you got to go. But thanks for coming up. Appreciate you. All right. I was just about to hit him with do the kids deserve to go off the cliff on a school bus?
Yeah. I mean, and the question still stands, even with... because we're talking about the existence of God, and that's just a no for me. I'm not playing that game with you.
Yeah.
But it is, again, this is what I enter the I don't want to say argument, just the premise here. I am open to being wrong. I am open that I do not know what I'm talking about. Do it. Yeah, show me. Number one, believers will never say that. They will never say I am. There's a chance I could be wrong, and or anything of that nature. They would never utter the words, because then you would have to have a fair discussion, an honest one, a healthy one. On top of that is still the prove to me and show me something that has happened because of God that cannot happen without Him. It's not there. I'm not talking about confirmation bias. I'm not talking about the intimacy of faith or anything of that nature. I'm talking about tangible, measurable evidence, and once again, everyone else is held to the letter except for this belief, and not one of these things in the Bible, not one of these things is anything that God or Jesus or the Holy Spirit has ever said. There's not one word in the Bible, not one sentence, not one phrase that God or Jesus has ever said. Not one.
Yeah.
Not one.
I hear that.
And I will put that challenge out there.
All right. Well, we got a
We're
returning
not
guest.
doing it.
All right. We got a returning guest. And this is okay, so you're back. Back with new content. All right. How you doing?
Anything but apple seeds.
Good. How you doing, co-host and host?
Back, what's going on with you, brother?
Yeah, we're doing well.
Just being polite, saying hi to everybody. Okay.
All right, appreciate you. All right. So you see you're polite in many different ways, but so you see the question up on the board. So what's your best evidence that God is just?
God is just in everything that he do, because God is first, he's all knowing, right? So he knows that the decision that he makes, he's not making it out of a fly. That's because he can see all things and he sees the ending of it. And so since God knows what you don't know, right? To you as a human being, you seem like it's unjust. But that's your finite mind. But see, when God look at things, he look at things from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
So when he makes his decision, it's not like a decision off the wind. It's a tactical, strategic decision.
Okay. And so if I'm hearing you right, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right. What you're saying is, since we have finite minds, we can't understand what is just and what isn't, because God has an infinite mind. He's all knowing. And so if something happens that God commands or God allows, it has to be just, no matter what.
Yes, because he knows the ending of it and you don't. So if you was to see what God see, you will understand. But since you can't see what this infinite God sees, right? To you and your finite mind, you are limited to the understanding. That's why God got full understanding of everything. That's why he said his ways is not like our ways.
Okay.
His ways is above ours. So that's why.
Okay. Me and Dr. Elijah are non-resistant non-believers. And let's just say, we'll just grant that you're right. We have no understanding of what just or justice is, aside from what we read in the dictionary. Okay. And so I think if you were listening to the last guest, we went over what the dictionary definition of just is. And I think I like to shorten it into basically people getting what they deserve. So do you agree with the dictionary definition of just, or do you have a different definition of just?
Well, I'll go with the justice of the Almighty God, right? So he has his rules. And I understand it. Like we were kids when our parents set rules. We didn't like some of the rules, and this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that you guys don't agree with his rules, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But there are rules set in place.
I just said that we just imagine that we have no understanding of apart from what is just right above my head, which is the dictionary definition of just, based on or behaving according to what is morally right and fair. Mm-hmm. So would you agree with that definition?
In a human sense, yes, to us. But would you agree that a man wrote that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but
good.
Is it okay? So how would God define just?
Right. So I don't know, because I don't know if you probably do read the Bible and everything. So I'm assuming that you have an understanding of the way God does things, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I guess so.
Okay, so but just because we know the little bit the information that we were given, we don't know the overall. That's why he said his ways are above ours. You only know some of it, but you don't know the overall thing. So when you asked me, when you read this human thing right here, this definition of just, God's just is higher than this. It's the standard is higher than that.
Okay. And
who wrote the Bible?
Say again?
Who wrote the Bible? God or man?
Man, it was inspired by the word of the Spirit. Yes.
Right. Who wrote it?
It was guided by the word of the Spirit, and man wrote it because he was following instructions.
Right. So just that part. Who wrote it?
Right. Man wrote it, just like he wrote Genesis chapter 129.
Okay, so man wrote the dictionary and man wrote the Bible.
Right.
Okay.
But the difference is that the dictionary, right? There's no miracle in this right here. There's nothing that it doesn't show me nothing. See,
Well,
but see.
Well, hold on. So I can also say that the dictionary is God inspired because, and if you allow me to break this down, where do we get our wisdom intelligence from? Our creator, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I have the smarts to come up with words and give them definitions, well, the dictionary is God inspired as well.
Yeah, but there's limits to this, right?
Oh,
And
now
I think the host. Wait, hold on,
okay.
sir. You keep cutting me off, man. And I think the host knows where I'm going with this, and you know it's coming. Okay, so the Bible has statements, right? Right, exactly. So the Bible has statements. The Bible has statements, right, and claims that cannot be duplicated.
Can't be duplicated.
Right? Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you mean? Well,
wait a
minute.
minute.
What do you mean by that? Yeah. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Right. I'm so glad you asked, host, because now you know where I'm going with that. I think as soon as I say this, you're gonna know exactly what I'm gonna talk about.
All right.
Because this is my favorite go-to because
right.
I've never been refuted on this.
Wait,
All right. So
are you trying to
Genesis.
trap me? Are you trying to trap me?
No, I'm trying to show you, right? I'm trying to show you that that the way of the way you guys think is finite. Like you guys think in a small box, right? And you guys come up with excuses. But I'm going to show you that there's no excuse here because then you're going to have to show me, right, that this is wrong. If you can't show me that this is wrong, then God is real. So what I'm saying is this. So the statement was made in Genesis chapter 129. You know where I'm going with this.
Oh, okay.
Plant life.
Okay. This isn't relevant to the discussion. We're talking about justice here. We're not talking about plant life.
Okay.
And we already baked you on this.
He was going to the seed.
I just never get an answer though from none of you guys.
We already smoked you on
I
this.
get dropped instead.
Yeah,
Sir,
we didn't drop you. We smoked you last week. I clipped it. It's on my video recordings. Yeah, I already baked you on this. Like we spit roasted you.
It's easy to edit, right, and make it seem it's easy to do.
Oh,
I
it's
can
all
do that
unedited.
too.
It's fully. The whole full thing is on YouTube.
But my question was never answered. It was never answered.
All right, but
but that's
not what we're talking about today. We're talking about whether or not God is just.
It was never answered. So okay, let's talk about God is just, guys. So, but for the audience, so that are listening, they were able to explain to me how seeds.
The seed, man. This Granny Smith is gonna be the. Macintosh is gonna be it, man, boy. I tell you.
All right, so
okay, you want to talk about whether or not God is just or what?
No problem. No problem. They're laughing. They're laughing because they have they have no explanation for this, right? Yeah. So for the people that are lost, right, they cannot explain to me in their worldview how cells, right, was able to create seeds that programmed to create food. They don't know this.
Him last week.
They don't know this. So what they do is they laugh, right?
Hey,
but they have they'll say everything. They'll say everything except answering that. You notice they're laughing but not answering it.
No, respectfully. So respectfully, back.
Yeah, look how red he's turning, and he's black. He's nervous.
Okay.
How you black? You turning red? That's crazy to me.
Well, if you were here when we talked about when you go personal, we already know what's going on. So,
no, I'm just saying he's turning red and he's black. He's turning red. That's what I'm saying.
But going personal means that anyway. So really quick,
I didn't say nothing personal. I'm just saying what he looks like.
Yeah, I mean that could be offensive though.
But that's not. But he's red because he's nervous and he's black. He shouldn't be turning red. He's black.
I think this is the first self crash out I've seen, man.
Hey, hey, notice everything except answering what I'm asking. Notice,
okay, back.
I need y'all to pay attention. Notice how they don't want to talk about it.
Back. I want to talk about it.
Because
I want to talk about it.
No, they can't. Okay, let's talk about it.
I want to talk about it back.
Hey, host, are you recording this for your YouTube?
Yes, I am.
Recording for YouTube. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, go.
I'm gonna invoke my own kick pull. See,
okay.
I got my own coupons, so we're gonna.
I guarantee when the conversation is over, he's going to end with "I don't know." I guarantee it. Go ahead.
Okay.
We might make the
Yeah,
record.
it's yours.
This might be Hall of Fame worthy. So just
It is
okay.
of course.
Yes. Oh, you know what? I think I might. That might be something we agree on back with content.
Right.
That you might be Hall of Fame worthy. This might be Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
the host was never able to answer the question right. But go ahead on
All right.
co-host.
Vote starting, everybody. All right. Go ahead.
So, if I even have time,
You got a lot of time, man.
So let's say you bring in the seed and the cell analogy,
so your vote's
and
important.
my mind is blown, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never thought about that. You're right, I agree. Can I? So now you got my mind.
38 seconds. Everybody.
Am I allowed to have a question after that? Back?
You can ask questions, man. Go ahead.
Okay, so you brought in the seed, the cell, the analogy. I'm like, oh my goodness, that is amazing. I've never heard about that. You know that. Can you minister to me and break it down for me in the Bible when it comes to
keep going.
Men having relations with underage girls?
Come on, we're almost there.
Co-host, respectfully, before we get to that conversation,
that's pretty close.
Right?
That's pretty close.
Come on, man. Host, please, come on, man.
All right.
Let's come on. Let's relax, man. I'm chill, right?
Oh,
I'm being respectful.
Yeah, you're pretty chill.
You know what I mean?
All right, but they did vote you out.
To me,
they voted.
Come on.
Yeah, they voted. People have spoken.
They're scared of me, man. I'm telling you, I'm a threat, bro. Everywhere I go, I'm a threat, man. I'm telling you.
You're a Hall of Fame threat now.
Fails.
You are a Hall of Fame threat.
It never fails.
You are a Hall of Fame threat. So congratulations.
They cannot explain how genomes is able to create seeds.
Your gold jacket will be in the mail. Congratulations. We have a new Hall of Fame inductee in the Kickpole Hall of Fame. Congratulations, everybody. Wow. That is amazing.
It's like that. It's like what is it? It's like the guy that he doesn't want to play you in one-on-one basketball. He wants to play horse with you.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to do his favorite trick shot that he knows he can make, and he wants to play that game with you. Like we'll shoot it with one eye closed off of your foot, 1 foot with your hand tied behind your back, and it's like, or we could just actually play the game and show all of our skills and expertise and see who wins.
Exactly.
Or do you want to just play your one game with the the one trick pony? Yeah.
Well said. Yeah. Yeah. Well said. And we actually broke it down for him last week. Because
we did it on the other live. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We broke it down for him last week. So we had already talked about this, and yeah, it was painful then, but
yeah. God, it was painful, man.
It's so painful.
It's always painful.
Yeah. So I mean, it was kind of a mercy thing because I don't want, like he got absolutely spit roasted last week, and
yeah,
those
are the ones that you're like, okay, love you, man. I'll see you same time next week. All right,
same time next week. Yeah. But hey, back with new content. You're welcome to come back. I don't know if it's gonna like do anything. Like you could probably improve on your Hall of Fame numbers, but I don't know if that's even like possible. But
I'm an atheist. What's your best evidence that God is just? Let me tell you about these seeds. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. Like,
that's how I know God is just. Like,
yeah,
wow.
that ain't it.
Yeah, that ain't it. So yeah, 43-3. Yeah. So 43 votes. Yes, it was close. It was like he just got in with the, bias, just like skin of his teeth, but definitely Hall of Fame worthy. So congratulations for making the Hall of Fame back with new content. All right. Yeah, we haven't had money like kickpole votes today because frankly, too many crash outs. Yeah, too many crash outs.
Yeah.
Too many belches, too many crash outs. Yeah.
It's great data in regards to
brother's doing research up here. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to talk about seeds.
I am glad you kicked him because I was getting a little scared. He was kind of a threat. I was worried that he was about to I mean, it was like we were a little unmatched for whatever it was he was talking about.
Yeah.
Total mismatch. Yeah. Total mismatch. Oh,
So thank you, because I was getting a little scared.
Yeah, this is Dr. Elijah. This is my buddy Lobes, and he's under the All Righteous Atheist moniker because we're doing a joint under that name pretty soon.
Awesome.
So we're gonna be having we're gonna do a joint live and have guests and all that stuff. It'll be a little bit different than what this format is, but yeah. So
what's going on, Lowe's, man? Great to connect with you.
What's up, Elijah?
Yeah,
you know.
Take the patriarch. He says, "Hey, Cyber." Hang on, I think he's in the car with me.
Is he in the car with you? Okay.
Oh, well, hey, what? Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Wait a minute. No, he did not. How do I give him gifts? How do I give him gifts? How do I give him gifts?
It's a good thing that you got rid of that guy because he was about to just destroy you with rhetorical back shots.
Well, his name is back with new content.
Yes.
So,
we know what the content is now.
That's the reason why it's back. That explains everything.
It does, man.
He said, I think he's in the car with me. That is too awesome.
Not driving, by the way. Just want to point that out there. I'm parked. So I
am not doing good enough. I need to try harder because this guy is absolutely amazing.
Isn't it?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, let me go ahead and throw that follow. What is my
Oh shucks. Well, don't forget to go over to the his main account. It's called Lobes the Absurdist on TikTok, and he also has a backup, right? So the backup So the backup's going to be 2 lobes. He doesn't do a whole lot on there, but it does exist, and you'll recognize it because it has the upside down T that he uses.
He said, right. Oh my gosh. How am I jealous and in love at the same time? I am not.
Hey, well,
cool,
we're
bro.
both married, so I don't know who you're referring to exactly, but
look,
we're both happily taken.
Same, but you guys are amazing. I love it.
Oh man. Oh well, Cyber. It's always good to hear from you. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought I would just come up here and see what's up.
Oh man. Oh man. Well, yeah, I wise words you gave us. Yeah, we really did not want to take rhetorical back shots from back. We really didn't want to.
Nobody likes back shots.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of all my friends. They're not doing a good enough job. I'm deleting contacts, man. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Back with new back shots.
Back with new back shots.
Shut up. Shut up. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I'm so weak right now. All right. okay, I'm gonna bring up another guest. There's people waiting. Oh my goodness. It's River.
Yes.
River's the next guest. How you doing, River?
Oh, not too bad. 6 years old.
All right. Thanks for waiting. And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, the Quran?
I'm actually going to answer your question because I'm not convinced, but I can see how, if there's a God, how he could be considered just.
Okay. If there's a God, how could he be considered just?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the first thing we have to consider is the scriptures are very explicit that we cannot judge each other. Do we agree with that?
Okay. So the scriptures are explicit that we can't judge each other. All right.
Correct. Okay. And then the second level of that is God says only he can judge because he looks upon the heart.
Okay. And so why does God get to judge?
Well, let's follow my line of logic this time, and then you can tear it down. So I watch my kids play video games, and they jump in there. This is kind of where that other guy was going, but he didn't quite get there. They go in and play the game, and if you've ever played a video game with the VR set on, you are immersed.
Yeah.
And you can go in there and you can kill people and you can do all kinds of things and you can get back out. The question is, why did you make your decisions? Not necessarily what are the rules.
Okay.
So in this sense, God right now may be looking on your heart and saying, you know what, you guys are the most righteous people on this earth because your heart is in the right place. Our problem is we're reading the scriptures and then trying to judge each other instead of looking at the scriptures as they are written. Okay, that's all.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, appreciate you coming up, River.
Really quick, that wouldn't be correct.
I'm listening.
So, believers within the church, the bride of Christ, it directly says, you can even check 1 Corinthians 5:12, where it actually instructs believers to judge each other and hold each other accountable rather than judging the outsiders. So to say that we're reading the scriptures and judging each other, that's actually what the scripture tells us to do. And that's not an opinion or kind of sort of, that's the Bible.
Take a look. Yeah.
Yeah, I once again, I would also
assuming that God exists, why we're assuming there's any specific God? I mean, I guess it's okay if you want to work in a specific paradigm, right? But the thing is, God, right? He isn't just intrinsically authoritative. You have to actually explain how or why he would wield such authority, right?
Okay, so to answer your question, I think we need to judge in the sense that I cannot be helpful to somebody else if I don't make some rational judgment what type of help they need. What we're explicitly told is we are not the judger. God will decide where we go in the end, and that's because he can look upon the heart.
All right. Do you see what it says above my head here?
No, it's too small. Let's see if I
too small?
can bring in your screen.
All right. Let's see if I can.
I'm just looking at small icons.
I can read it,
It's 1 Corinthians 5:12-13. This is the New Revised Standard Version, updated edition. So,
Jesus Christ.
So, the text states, "For what I have to do with judging those outside, are you not judges of those who are inside? God will judge those outside. Drive out the wicked person from among you."
So right there, it is almost God like reminding us, not only giving us instructions, but saying, hey, are you not the judges of each other in the church? So contrary to popular belief, God holds us accountable to hold others accountable within the body of Christ. So to say we're reading the scriptures and judging each other, well, that's an instruction from God. So
all I would say on that is when the scriptures contradict each other, we have to come to some conclusion that the scriptures may not be as reliable as we think. And I started out by saying I'm not holding myself to any particular God. That was for a reason.
Yes,
because I don't want to say I'm part of the Christian God if the scriptures contradict themselves. But if we just take a look at we were thrown in the game, how are we going to act? And heaven, a lot of atheists are going to turn out very good on this because they're good people.
Well, I think the big thing also, as far as, because I mean we're kind of bringing elements of game theory here. Part of game theory also, we have to deal with the aspect of consequences, and in video games especially, there really isn't any consequences in video games. There are like lasting consequences, and on top of that, you've got the reset button. You can always flip the game off and turn it right back on, and then restart a character or whatever you want to do. And there's really no grave consequence to you. But the stakes are much higher in life. So that's the only problem with that analogy is it doesn't quite translate over. Because, even though you're right. We're making decisions in real life, and it's similar to making decisions in a game. But those real life decisions have consequences. So that's just kind of the big thing that I would, throw out there.
Yeah, I hear that. And to this, I would bring in the Mormon church. I know a lot of people don't like the Mormon Church, but their doctrine's interesting because they don't believe that God is going to send you to hell, or they don't believe God's going to send you to one place or the other. They believe you're going to accept where you belong because you won't feel comfortable a certain degree. So if I'm on earth and I'm making choices that, I don't want to sit around and just sing all day. I'd rather, drink some tea and coffee. Maybe I wouldn't want to be in heaven. And their definition of hell isn't a place where you're in fire and brimstone. Their definition of hell is actually just the absence of God's presence or his glory.
Okay. Well, hey, River, we want to go back to talking to some theists, but I appreciate you coming up. Appreciate your time.
Okay, I just wanted to get a chance for you guys to challenge that. I am atheist myself, but it's a thought I've had, and I've just
I got
want
you.
a challenge so I can see where the flaws are. Thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Right. Well, it is really tricky, right? When you're an atheist and you're trying to steel man the position a little bit, because when you have a believer, they've got a specific they've got a specific version of the interpretation of text that they're invoking, right? But when you're not a believer, you're not going to necessarily assume univocality in the same way, so it's a little bit tricky.
I love it.
Oh man, I love it.
Sorry, I thought I had to go, but there's 10 minutes left on my break. I thought it was up, but it has 10 more minutes. So if you want to put up with me for 10 more minutes, I might just stick around.
We'd love nothing more than to put up with you for 10 more minutes. I just don't think I might not be breathing at the end of it, but you're more than welcome.
Righteous.
Okay, let's bring up the next guest. Oh my goodness. Goodness. How you doing, Real?
I'm doing good, man.
All right. Thanks for waiting. All right. It sounds like you're over the age of 18, so I'll just skip to the next one. Which God do you believe in? The Bible, the Torah, the Quran, God?
The Bible.
All right. What's your best evidence that this God is just?
He's just because his name is righteousness, according to Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 5.
Okay.
That's what I changed my name to.
His name is righteousness, so he is the standard. That's why he is just.
Okay. So he is just because he is just.
Absolutely. According to Jeremiah 23.
Do you have your prop, TBV?
I do. Okay. So this is like my wall charger. So essentially what you're saying, Real, is God is just because he's righteous. And since he's righteous, he's just.
Absolutely.
Like that?
Just like that.
Just like that. All right.
Makes perfect sense.
Me as a Christian, I have to. Me as a Christian, I have to believe what the Bible says, and the Bible says his name is righteousness.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Okay. So, how do we differentiate if there is another faith-based book that says the same thing? How do we know which one is the real deal? So if you say, hey, this is my Bible, I am who it says I am, I can do what it says I can do, and all the things, and God is God because he's just because he's God, he's righteous because that's his name. But then, someone says, well, I believe in Allah, and my book says the same thing about my God. And then someone said, well, I believe in Buddha, and my book says the same thing about my God. How do we know who to go with if everyone's God says the same things about themselves?
That's a pretty good point Elijah brought up, but if we're also, I wanted to just
I'll be right
add
back, everybody.
that if, okay, I wanted to add that if it's just because his name is righteous, right? My name is All Righteous Atheist. Does that make me just as well?
Say it again.
So I just wanted to add on top of what Elijah said. He wanted to know, how we can know which text is authoritative, just because they all say that they're authoritative. They all say that their version of God is just, even when they are mutually exclusive. But you also said that, which is the thing I was asking, Because his name is righteous, that makes him righteous. But my name is all righteous atheist, so does that make me just?
Absolutely not.
What?
So
So
then
and
why does it
that
work
would
for
be my
God?
point.
My thing is, since God is the creator of all things, He is the standard.
Right, but other books say that too. I mean, Quran, Torah, Buddhist, atheism, Scientology. So that's my thing. You grew up, Bible believing Jesus Christ is the Son of God,
I did
author and
not
creator of all
grow up.
things.
I did not grow up a Bible believer.
Well, no. So I'm just laying out facts. So whether you grew up that way, somewhere in your life, you began to believe, whether it was from birth or a year ago. And the same thing for other people in their religions. If they say, well, I just started believing a year ago or 10 years ago or from birth, but they believe something completely different. If all the books say the same thing about their gods, how do we know which one to go with? And we'll say, well, my God did miracles in my life. And somebody's like, well, my God did miracles in my life. And well, my God saved this. Well, my God said he created it. Well, no, my God said he created it. Or my God said she created it. How do we know who to go with?
I'm extremely confident that no other book says that their God name is righteousness. I am extremely confident on that. Allah,
Right.
Allah, Allah doesn't say that his name is righteousness. Buddha doesn't say his name is righteousness. Only Yahweh Elohim says that his name is righteousness.
Well,
So
there's this religion that I recently came across, and the god's name is literally righteousness. It's the only name this god goes by. What do you think about that god?
Show me.
His name is righteousness.
And that's God. Yahweh
No,
Elohim.
it's not Yahweh. It's a different god that only goes by the name righteousness.
Where?
It's this newer religion.
This newer religion?
Yeah, it just got discovered.
Bruh. No.
Well, his name is righteousness. I'm just trying to see if that is, because he doesn't have any other aliases or pseudonyms that see Yahweh. It's almost like Yahweh has an identity crisis where he can't decide who he is. But then this God is just righteousness.
Listen.
Right? So he's only righteousness.
So real, if I were to go with that, if I'm standing here in this place and I'm like, man, I'm not a believer. I don't believe in God. I don't believe Jesus Christ, the Son of God, this and that. And my soul is on its way to hell. And you're telling me, okay, hey man, hear you this and that, but look, man, God is God, and the reason why you should believe in him is because he's the only one that whose name is righteousness. Are you telling me that I should believe in this God, your God, because he's the only one that calls himself righteous? Like that's the thing, that's the kicker for me to say, well, he's the only one that calls himself righteous, so I guess he's the one. That's the thing.
You should believe in him because he's the reason why you exist. He's the reason why you have the ability to get wealth. He's the reason why you live, move, and have your being. That's the reason why you should believe on him.
Right. And how and as an unbeliever, and here's the thing, as an unbeliever who is not argumentative and doesn't push back or anything, as as a non-believer, you're saying, well, he created you. He's the air within your lungs. He's the reason why you can get wealth and this and that. How would you prove that to me?
How would I prove that to you?
Yeah. I'm an unbeliever. I'm on my way to hell. Your book says to minister to the lost. Go out and make disciples. To study and show thyself approved. You're saying that he created me. How now? What? So I should believe it because you said it, or how would you show me this, or is this just something I gotta believe?
Because the Bible makes it clear that the Lord blesses the just and the unjust. So even though you don't believe in the Lord, he's the reason why you have what you have.
Right. And again, standing here as a non-problematic unbeliever, I'm hearing the words you're saying, but how do I
know this? That where's the proof? And that's why I'm saying, is this just something I have to believe? Because I'm hearing the words, and it's like, well, the Bible is true because the Bible says it's true, and the Bible and God is God because the Bible says He's God. Okay, many books say many things in many religions, and if I'm on my way to hell, how would you prove this to me?
I mean, the proof is all around you. You just refuse to accept it.
No, I'm not refusing. I want you to show me.
The proof is all around you. When you talk about this planet, I mean, this planet was created so that humans can live in it. There's no other planet in the universe that a human being can live on, only Earth.
Right, and we know that how?
Because the Bible says so.
Right, and you see how we keep going back to the book?
Because the Bible is truth.
Right, because you say so, or somebody told you and you chose to believe that. So and I'm not being facetious, what if I believe that Spider-Man is coming back to help me one day, and because the magazine says he's a friendly neighborhood superhero? Like, again, not being combative or facetious. Hey, believe this because the Bible says so, and the Bible is the only thing that says this thing. This is just circular reasoning. We haven't landed anything. We haven't talked about what makes God just. There's nothing tangible here. It's just take my word for it.
Well, brother, you can believe whatever you want, but I choose to believe in the creator of heaven and earth. Because
right, as a believer, though.
Let me finish.
Yeah,
Because that would make sense. It makes sense. If you study the scripture, you will see that what it states makes sense. Every creature is created after its own kind. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense, bro. Like, seriously.
So here's the thing. I don't know what you're saying, and
You
it
don't know what I'm
doesn't.
saying.
And hold on, no. I'm being honest with you. I don't. But as a believer in the Bible, is it your job to tell me? Is it your job to tell me I can believe whatever I want to believe because the Bible makes sense, and if you don't believe it, that's on you? Or is it your job as a believer to minister to me and save my soul like the Bible instructs you to?
The truth of the matter is that you won't hear me because
No.
already.
You didn't answer my question. Is it your job to tell me? Is it your job to tell me that I am rebellious? I don't have the ears to hear. I'm never going to get it. Oh, you just believe what you want to believe. Or is it your job to minister to me and save my soul?
Such a good question.
Okay, what I'm going to say is that if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you are definitely lost, and you're going to continue to be lost. Let me finish.
How does that answer his question, though?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't answer your question.
No, it doesn't.
He's asking you what your job is as a
soul.
Christian. Yeah, we're lost.
Yes. In my job, my job is to listen. My job is to it is to tell you the truth, but I cannot force the truth on you.
That's not what we're asking. We're not asking that.
That's not what we're asking. I'm telling you.
We didn't say to force the truth on us. Yeah.
I'm asking you to be.
You see, my job is to convince you, right?
No,
yeah.
I didn't say that.
Or not even that far, but yeah. I mean, just tell the truth.
Not even that far. I'm telling you, as the Son of God, to minister to me and save my soul.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why God is just. Save my soul right now.
Yeah, because I mean, as it stands right now, ministering to us isn't, hey, man, you're just going to believe whatever you want to believe, man. You're just lost. I mean, how does that convince anybody?
You don't got the ears, man. You're not gonna hear it. You just gonna push back.
Yeah, you're just gonna push back.
If I'm a doctor, and not to be too far fetched, but if I'm a doctor and I have to perform a life-saving procedure, of course, in ministering, you can't force the Bible down people's throats. But we're here willingly. We're here willingly. But doctors have to hold you down to save your life sometime. And they have to strap you down and things like that. You don't even have to hold us down. We're here.
Okay.
I'm right here, brother. Yeah, I'm a non-resistant non-believer. So if you make it make sense, I'll believe it.
Okay, well, this is what it is. This is the standard of God according to the new covenant, is to believe on the Lord Jesus Christ for salvation. That is the standard. That is the righteousness of God under the new covenant.
Okay, so then this kind of goes
Right.
back to what Dr. E said before. If it says that in every holy book, it says that in the Hindu holy book, it says, this is the standard which you must believe. And if you don't believe in Krishna, then you got a problem. So who am I supposed to believe?
Well, me as a Christian, you should believe in the God of the Bible, 100%.
Okay, and why?
And why? Because it is truth. I mean, if you listen, if you study, if you study the Bible, are you familiar with Josephus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Josephus speaks of many people in the Bible, in the New Testament. He speaks of John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was the one that said that Jesus Christ is the Lamb of God that takes away the sins of the world. He speaks of James, the brother of Jesus Christ.
Yep.
You know,
how do we know? But he does speak of them. But how do we know that's what they said? What's your evidence that that's actually what they said? Because we've got other people in other holy books, like Muhammad is verified to have existed, right? At least that's what it is according to Muslims. So does that mean that everything that Allah revealed everything to Muhammad just simply because he existed?
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But when let's come back to Josephus. Josephus did mention that John the Baptist did water baptize, and John the Baptist did speak of water baptism in the Bible. He spoke of Herod, I believe Agrippa the First. He spoke of what happened to him. How that he had got sick because he refused to correct the people, because the people was calling him God and everything. So a lot of things that's in the Bible, people spoke the same thing outside of the Bible, like Josephus.
And now let's kind of take it.
Do you agree?
Well, he also spoke of Hercules too. So does that mean that the Greek religion is true?
He spoke of Hercules.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Well, I don't believe in Greek.
Well, it doesn't matter what you believe, because we don't believe in your religion, because we're non-resistant non-believers. But you're still asserting to us that it's true. So just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not true, right? Doesn't mean it's So that's not like a marker for that. I'm asking you though, because you're saying, well, Josephus mentioned all these people. He talked to these people, so that means then that we're just using your logic. So according to your logic, if Josephus talks about Hercules, that means the ancient Greek religion is true, right?
What did he say about Hercules?
Oh, he talked about
that.
Oh, go ahead.
So in regards to them existing, the very same things that we're saying about these other gods, these were the same things said about Hercules, the sun god, moon god. Like all of these books and all of these passages are speaking to their existence, eyewitnesses, accounts, written stories. So how do we know what to believe in if everyone is saying the same thing?
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Christian faith, believers are saying, because the Bible said so. And if you don't believe that, that's on you.
Well, okay, I say Josephus, but we can use someone like Tacitus. I mean, Tacitus speak of Jesus. He speak of Pilate crucified Jesus.
But here's another thing. People
do
speak
you
about
believe? Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
Yeah, it's true. But what we're trying to get, but see, now we have to leap to, how does existence equal God? Existence of these people equals God. I don't see that. That's a leap.
Well, me as a Christian, I believe that Jesus Christ is the fullness of the Godhead bodily, according to Scripture.
Okay.
It also calls Jesus the image of the invisible God, and it also calls Jesus Christ the Word of God that became flesh, that was called God in the Gospel of John, chapter 1.
Okay, and so, but still, we also have independent sources of Muhammad, and we have independent sources of Aisha. One of Muhammad's brides. So
yes, but Muhammad never called himself God.
Well, we're still using your, but so in order to, it for to be true, a person has to call themselves a deity.
I mean,
Because then
Jesus
we could take the Roman mythology then as a true religion then, because they called Caesar a deity, they called Augustus a deity.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I
It's
hear
like
what you're saying.
it's the same reasons everybody else is giving. That's what we're driving at. So I'm trying, yeah. So I don't see, that's what we're driving at with you, is we don't see how that makes your religion more true, and there's not. They're using the exact same reasons you're using.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But do,
you feel
but
this?
do,
Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying, but do you, can we agree that Jesus of Nazareth did exist because people like okay, and I believe according to Scripture that Jesus of Nazareth is God.
Okay, so if he is God and he existed, then how do you demonstrate that he's God?
How do I demonstrate that he is God?
Yeah.
So the book
Because
tells us, and this is what I mean, and I actually want to give you some ammunition, real. So you walk into ninth grade freshman year, and you walk in there, and the teacher is like, "This is what it is. This means this. This equation means that. X, Y, Z," and you're like, "Well, okay, are you going to explain that to us? Like, how is that real?" And she pulls out the book. And not only does she pull out the book, but she begins to break the problem down. Because if she just tells you, well, 1 + 1 is 2, because the book says so, without explaining to you how 1 + 1 is 2, pulling out one black marker and another black marker and talking about, numerology, and actually breaking it down and showing you the proof, and then applying that same mathematical equation or proof to another problem, and it's still 2. And you apply it to another one, and it's still 2. And you apply it to another one, and it's still 2. When believers come with the Bible, they just say, hey, it's in the book. Well, how? Well, the book says so. Well, the other book says so too. Well, let me show you how, and this and that. Believers don't do that. Believers just say, hey, it's in the book. I choose to believe it. Well, the other book says it. Well, my book is right. Versus a simple math teacher who says, not only am I going to tell you that this is right, but I'm going to show you too. I'm not going to make you believe because I said it to you. I'm not going to make you believe because you can see it in the book. I'm going to make you believe because I'm going to show you by example. Can you show me by example, outside of your words, outside of what it says in the book, because my soul is on its way to eternal damnation of hellfire. And any believer who proclaims to be a believer as the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the middle, who knows the beginning from the middle of end, cast your sins from the east as far as from the east is to the west. If you are telling me to put my soul on it, the least you could do is show me.
Okay, well, this is the closest I can give you. I can go to Pliny the Younger, because I know y'all think that the Bible is fiction, so I'm gonna just go outside the Bible. All right. So Pliny the Younger, and I'm paraphrasing, he stated that these people are singing hymns to Christus like he is a god.
Okay.
Which he is God. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible teaches that he is God. But Pliny the Younger, he said that himself. He said that these people are singing hymns to Christus as if he is a God.
Okay.
And me as a Christian believe that he is a God.
So
he is God.
So to respond to that, the Bhagavad Gita of the Hindu religion declares Krishna a god, and there are people who sing songs to Krishna. So does that make Hinduism true?
Well, me as a Christian, I don't believe that Hindu is
right. Yeah, you don't believe, but that's my point, is that they're using the same exact reason you're using.
But the thing is, Pliny the Younger is not a believer. He's a Roman historian.
Yeah.
And he's just saying what he saw and what he heard.
So when we find independent records of historians saying Hindus sang songs to Krishna, talking about Krishna as a god, that makes it true, because it's the same exact evidence that you're giving us right now. That means Hinduism is true.
Where does it say that? I mean, Can you show me?
So real,
Yeah,
really
I
quick.
can bring up a historian saying Hindus are singing songs to Krishna. I mean, it's not hard.
And say that he was a god?
Yeah, Krishna's a god. Krishna's a god in the Hindu religion. He's like one of the big, like there's Brahma and then Krishna. He's like one of the major gods.
Real, I assume that you understand and you know what the burden of proof is and means, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that means in this case, and bro, when I say I'm being respectful, like I don't mean I'm not that type of guy.
Thank you,
So
respect thought. Yeah.
with the burden of proof, we're supposed to be asking questions that you're supposed to be answering. Because we're not the one that is saying God is real. You are. We're saying he's not real. So we're actually supposed to be sitting down, shutting up, and listening to you tell us why he is.
Yes.
So when we say things and you're like, and you ask us questions, the burden of proof doesn't flow that way because we've stated our claim, and our claim doesn't need proof because we're saying we don't believe.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, well, let me say this. We all believe that Jesus of Nazareth really is real.
Right.
We can all agree. So let me finish. So I believe that Jesus of Nazareth is God. I believe that 100%.
Okay. And then what is justifying your
Why
belief?
should we?
Yeah.
Because I believe what the Bible says. The Bible makes it very clear that Jesus of Nazareth is the image of the invisible God. He's the fullness of the Godhead.
Right. So those are words, and you believe those are facts. So
yes, I believe they are facts.
Can you tell me? Okay, you picked up this book, or somebody introduced you to it, or however. Why do you believe, and why should we?
Because the simple answer I can give you, it is truth.
Right, but do you see how you see how that doesn't? So okay. So in that case, you're saying it's true because you believe it, or you're saying it's true because you can prove it.
It's true because the word of God says so. I know y'all don't believe in the Bible, but I
No. But again, as a son of God, you're not allowed to say that. As a son of God.
As a son of God, I can say that I know y'all don't believe, but I believe.
Right, but how is that ministering to us and showing us that God is just? How is that ministering to us and saving our souls? You're saying, hey, I know y'all don't believe, but I believe because the Bible is truth. I believe because God is truth. I believe because his name is righteousness. I believe because, right. So
do you believe what I said is true?
No.
Okay,
no, because we haven't given any evidence for it. You got to
there's no evidence.
You got to show us.
There is evidence that Jesus of Nazareth is a historic person.
Right.
He's
so
a historic person, but that doesn't.
He wants to.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
Yeah.
He's a so we all agree that Jesus of Nazareth is real.
But you keep saying that. You keep saying
the thing
but
is
real and then him being a god are two different levels of demonstration, right? So you've established, and so we'll take what you're saying as true. Jesus existed. But now the next part of there's two pieces to this. The second piece is now you're saying and he's the son and he's God. Well, that's the other part you got to demonstrate. So how do you demonstrate that?
I cannot go outside the perimeter of scripture, and that's all I can do is give you scripture, and the scriptures makes it very clear that he's the great I am, and that he is the image of the invisible God.
Okay.
He's the fullness. Let me finish. Let me finish. And I can only answer you with scripture. It's in John chapter 1, it said that the word was with God, and the word was God, and the word became flesh and dwelt among us. And his name is the word of God, according to Revelations chapter 19.
Okay, and then how do we know that's all true? How do we verify that?
The answer I can give you is that you need to do your research.
Wait, but that's not our job. That's your job.
That's not our job. It's your job to tell us.
No. Your Bible says to go out and spread the gospel. It says to minister to the lost and spread the good news. So if you are telling people to go do their research to save themselves, I would hope you would not, if I were God, I would hope you were not one of my representatives.
That was strong. But kind at the same time. It was strong but kind. Like a loving slap.
Like that's like me being a
We are not really. I don't know what else to.
Right. So it's you know. Do you know what you're allowed to say, real? Real. Do you know what you're allowed to say?
What I'm allowed.
Can you
to
hear
say?
me, real?
What I'm allowed.
You're
to
allowed. You're allowed to say, I don't know. You're allowed to say that. You're allowed to say, hey, this is what I believe, but I am not at the stage in my faith to where I can explain to you why. You're allowed to say that.
I mean, I'm not going to go outside the perimeter of Scripture. What you want me to do? Go outside the perimeter of Scripture?
No. You're saying you have to go outside the parameters of Scripture. It is actually within the parameter of Scripture to minister.
Okay, and I told you this is
no,
righteousness.
You didn't.
No, hold on, you wasn't hearing me. I told you this is righteousness. This is the standard according to the New Testament.
According to the book is the book.
Let me finish. The New Testament, the New Covenant, is to believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and you shall be saved. Believe that He died. This is the standard. I'm telling you what I believe according to Scripture. Believe on the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ, and you shall be saved.
Do you understand the difference between reading and ministering?
What you mean? I am ministering.
No, you're not. You're reading.
I am ministering.
No, you are reading. You are giving me words out of the Bible. You have not ministered once yet.
All right, I'm gonna start the polls, everybody. But man, Dr. E. Woo.
Yeah, y'all can go to somebody else. It was nice talking to you.
All right,
I appreciate you,
Good
real
talk,
brother.
man.
Happy Friday, man.
Happy Friday. Got that brother in a blender.
Nigga shit.
Wow, that was something. I love this approach, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm good.
Honestly, I had time today. I just had time. That's all. Like, I literally still have to go take the shower and go on this date with my hot wife. Like, I just had time.
This was fire, brother. This was fire. I love this. I love this approach. I really love this approach. Yeah. Because
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just, if you haven't gifted Dr. E, you must, and you must follow Dr. E as well, because this was fantastic. I know I gotta do the same. I gotta tend to my hot wife as well. But man.
And here's the thing. I don't even bring this type of smoke on my own page. Like, but if you open that door, I'm walking in with full authority. And unfortunately, there are many better than me, because I am not a fan of things that don't go anywhere. Like, if I know, like, you ever just not ask your kid because you know they gonna lie? Like, you're not even gonna tell the truth. You gonna lie.
You're not. Yeah.
So let me just
exactly.
let you. Yeah.
Let me just let you. Let me just let you.
Just go ahead. Just go to your room. Just go to your room. I know. Yep. You didn't do it. I know. It was that. Yep. Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Just go.
Just go.
I'm bringing up the mods because we're at the end of the live. But man,
I would love to support you and be a mod when you feel the time is right.
Oh, anytime, man. Okay.
Like, if I'm just sitting in the audience and
you just chilling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would serve happily, man.
That's lovely.
Your body of work is beyond doctoral level, and I hope people realize
that is a very high compliment.
No, it's true. 8.5 years, $175,000 later. Trust me, I'm giving flowers to what I see. There are doctors that cannot help a brick wall stand up, and there are high school dropouts that will change your life. You, my friend, if you don't have a doctorate, somebody needs to give you an honorary one, because
my goodness, that's just
people do not understand
the
level of mental and emotional health, the modality, the application, and the reserve that you have, and for me to notice how intentional your reserve is, because I know someone with firepower when I see him. I know what you hold back, and your level of application and your modality. I would sit in your classroom.
Wow, I'm just beyond flattered right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I agree.
Those are big words.
I fully
man.
agree.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that, man. You all are too kind. Thank you.
Write the book already.
Oh, goodness. Thank you so much. I just, it's just when I figured out, I honed in this one, simple little, and you guys hear me say this a lot. It's just trust is control the process, not the outcome. And so I focus on the process. And it's just like what you said, it's just stay calm, stay linear, and then, just keep asking questions, and then just kind of approach this as if, I want to be convinced. That's my approach. That's it. It's really simple. And so that's why I was loving your line of questions today. It's like, look, man, we're about to go into the lake of fire. You got to save us. Come on. What are you going to tell us here? Yeah, you got a job to do.
It's like, no, well, if you don't want to, well, that's on you. Oh, well, and then this entire psychology door that I don't even get to open, and it's like, you don't want me to open that because I never. I'll tell you as a doctor, I do not, and hear me when I say this, I do not make money off of people who listen.
Oh my goodness. I just felt how deep that wow.
I do not make money off of people who listen.
Okay, that bait went all the way to the bottom of the lake right there for me. That hit deep. Wow.
I look around at my life and the way dare I say blessed.
Listen. Goodness.
I make my living from people who do not listen.
Wow. That's deep.
Wait, what do you do?
I'm a clinical psychologist.
Say something?
Oh, okay.
I need to swap places with somebody here because my ass is on fire sitting on top of Elijah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Absolutely on fire. It is so hot.
Oh, I've been hot all day. Dr. Elijah's been in my life all day, and I've been sweating all day. That's what it is. Yeah, because Dr. E, you're on fire. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this was an epic collaboration today. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, this was fantastic. So, of course, Dr. E, this was long overdue. I know we had talked about it, but this was long overdue, and I got to go on your show sometime too. So we gotta work that out.
We open it up, man. We do it, and because of my accomplishments and the things that I've done, I am never opposed to learning. I am never opposed to knowing. Like, teach me. I will whip out my notebook in a second. Like,
same here. I learned a lot today. Yeah,
that is that, and unfortunately, the numbers that I see, I am undoing so much faith-based religious trauma and abuse. And I thank you, I gift you, I share you, I repost you. You are a gift to the minds and the hearts and the spirits of the people in the world around us.
Thank you. And I don't know if you're in our Discord, but you need to be.
I need that. I need that. I don't want to put you on blast, but you're supposed to send that to me.
Oh, my bad. Okay, my bad.
Wherever I can jump in.
Put him on blast.
But yeah, put me on blast. It's okay. Me and culpa. I will send that to you.
And I say that as a person who wants to kick it with the cool kids, because you are teaching and I'm learning. So yes, I will tell my mom that you did not invite me to your cool birthday party.
Well, then that is on me. And it is not, it's only because you didn't get the invitation. That's it. You were verbally invited. But the reason why I'm going to make sure you get in there is because we have a whole section on education now. We've kind of revamped it. And we have one on psychology and all that stuff. And so you as a contributor would be fantastic. It would be such a gift to us if you contributed to it.
I'm thankful.
I'm definitely going to, oh man, it's my mistake that I didn't get him in there earlier. So you guys got to blame me for that, because we could have had him in there the whole time, and I completely messed it up. Yep. See? Yeah. Exactly.
Let me know.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
know who to follow. Trust. Let me know who to follow. Let me know who to support.
I'll send it out to you. Okay.
I'm gonna run.
Okay.
And
before
I'm very thankful for you guys.
Before he gets out of here, everybody follow Dr. Elijah. He's also on YouTube, so you can find him on YouTube. And it's, you know, that's the thing. It's like I found you on Spotify too. So yeah. So he's on Spotify, he's on YouTube, he's on TikTok. So you guys can find Dr. Elijah everywhere. So please do that. Dr. Elijah Frazier. Just search for him. Go to his page.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, go to his, and just pop him a follow, because definitely, man, this was fire today. Absolutely.
You'll see it, man. You'll see the transition, and if you continue to ask questions, if you continue to study, if you scroll back long enough, you'll see the faith-based content. You'll there, and you just keep learning, and you keep growing, and the tides change. And sometimes when they humbly in our group of friends, sometimes they think they're talking to a regular non-believer. No, I was you. I was there. I didn't go to seminary to put on a suit and stand in a pulpit. I went to seminary to break down the actual foundation and the inception of it, the exegesis, the eisegesis, who was writing, why did they write, what was real, what wasn't. Because remember, slavery was once legal and the law. And right, and something was mentally and emotionally wrong with you if you didn't want to be a slave.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
By right.
They thought you had a mental illness. That's right.
They thought you had a mental illness if you didn't. So chew on that. I'll follow everyone back.
That's a big piece of chew on, brother.
I did not know that.
He just dropped something like that. Okay, well, everybody, yes, last chance. Chase Dr. Elijah as he runs with follows and all that stuff, man. That was fantastic. Man, that was a great live today. I learned a lot right there. I love that question that he keeps posing. Man. Yeah. Tied that last one up with knots. Yeah, that was dope.
You say his name?
Yeah, that was dope. So you summed it up, Jessica. You did. All right.
Wait, my kid wants to prove that I'm really talking to you.
Oh, he does? Okay. All right.
You say hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim. How you doing?
Good.
Good. All right.
You're so nosy. Like,
all right.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's enough. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Now get out of here. Oh,
so
goodness.
silly.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So this is one person that I'm so happy who is live right now. I've been wanting to raid his live for a while. It's the Angry Atheist. Do y'all know who the Angry Atheist is? Greg DePlume. Do y'all know who that is? So Greg DePlume, Angry Atheist. Great live. And I think it'd be great if we rated Greg today. He's so angry. Grr. Exactly. So let's find out what percentage he's angry. So let's do that with Greg, the Angry Atheist. He might be about 133% angry today, but that's for TikTok. On the YouTube side, it looks like Ian is still live, man. Ian is still going. So we can go jump into Ian's live. And I'm sure Mezzo and Joel Reed's Bible are going to be on later tonight. So you got that to look forward to. I mean, yeah, so we got a nice lineup. You don't see him? Yeah, I see him as live on my side. Oh, he just ended. Dang, he just ended. Oh, he just ended. Okay, and it looks like Ian ended too. So my fault, people. I just missed him. All right. Well, we've got the Board Agnostic. The Board Agnostics is another good one. Oh, and Breezy is guessing Mezzo's word tonight. So that's the reason we want to go see Mezzo's live tonight, because Breezy's going to guess the word. But for now, in between then and now, we've got Board Agnostic to fill that gap. So Board Agnostic is live. I see her on live. So let's jump in there and let's, Board is great. I fully agree, Jeffro. Let's go in there. And, that's canceled? Oh, no. Okay. Well, let's go raid Board Agnostics live, and let's give Board some support. Fantastic live. A lot of great stuff about the Bible and all that stuff. So let's go in there, TBV raid, And then on the other side, Deconstruction Zone is on too. So we can raid that on the YouTube side. But guys, this was such a great live today. This was such a great live. It was really fun. We had some crash outs. We had new content come back and crash out again all by himself. That was fantastic. Made the Kickhole Hall of Fame. We had a new Kickhole Hall of Fame inductee. Man, this was an epic live today. So we did a lot. So yes, give yourselves a hand, chat. Give yourselves a hand because chat, you are responsible for like 99% of that. So great job. Great job. Wonderful job. All right. So I'll see you on Board Agnostics Live. I'll see you in Deconstruction Zones Live on YouTube. You guys have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday. So having a fantastic weekend. All right. Take care. Good night, guys. Oh, wait. Before we leave, gift the mods. I forgot about that. So sorry. Gift the mods. Give the mods some love, some W's, some gifts. If you haven't already, totally fucking forgot about that. Yeah, do that. And also on the Blaster Master 80 is on the YouTube side. So yes. So do that. All right. I gotta go. Love y'all. See you Monday.
Bye. Love you too.